You know, on that grind, destructive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands in pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands in pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. Okay, it's never enough. Okay, it's never enough. Life can get so mad and life can get so tough. They can't handle nothing, that's why I do this stuff. That's why I wrote this stuff, that's how we hold it down, this love. Hit Istanbul like 3-4, when I call me that's plus 44. You know me, you know the score, you know what the hell we do this for. They wanna sleep in the name like Moldavore, I'm around but they wanna call me to go. I know what they're saying but really though, this flame just burning in my soul. Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands in pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. Got different hands in pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. Stumble like 3-4, when I call me that's plus 44. You know me, you know the score, you know what the hell we do this for. They wanna sleep in the name like Moldavore, I'm around but they wanna call me to go. I know what they're saying but really though, this flame just burning in my soul. Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able, yeah. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands in pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. Got different hands in pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. I think we're live. Yes, we are. And we're here live with Parris Lilly, the man who's all smiles and kumbaya, but in the background he wants to beat the shit out of some motherfuckers. If only you knew the real Parris, but I've had the pleasure of meeting him. How are you doing, sir? That's not you.
Oh, I'm doing good. You know, I don't like that intro. You make me sound like I'm a fucking bully. I'm not a bully, man.
You're not a bully, but
you are correct. You did get to read the real me, and I was talking a lot of shit, but that's for a story for another day.
Bro, I know the real you, man, and it's nice. It's not like there's a massive difference. It's not like you're fake on screen.
No.
Like you are what you say you are. But there's an element of Parris Lilly that will want to set the record straight and beat the shit out of some people. And I've met that Parris Lilly, bro.
No, my thing is funny, and I don't even mean to start the show off this way, but you know that Smash JT dude, right?
I muted him, but yeah.
But you know, all the
grifters,
nonsense that he does.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
he loves to come in my comments and say silly stuff, right? So he did that the other day. So my response to him was, hey, we both live in San Diego. I am more than happy to meet up with you and we can have this conversation in person. It can be a friendly, I wasn't threatening or nothing. I said, friendly conversation. I think all this internet talk is silly. Let's just talk. Crickets. I haven't heard from him since.
So
that's my thing. Like the internet's the internet, man. People are gonna say crazy stuff or whatever, but just like you and I've met in person. I've met a lot of people in person, and it's always interesting how and people that love to say crazy shit to me. I'm not putting you in that category, but I've met people that have been very critical of me online and said all this stuff, and then I meet them in person, and it's a completely different story.
Hey, you come in like, because when they see you, they just see Debo on the bike. But
it's not even like that.
Yes, it is like
I'm
that.
an old man.
That's the only reason. The only reason people don't step up to you in real life, and you know this, is because you're built like a brick house, and you'll beat the shit out of them. That's
not true.
No, that is literally the only reason that does happen. Chat, am I wrong? It's
yes,
so obvious.
Wrong.
It's so obvious. Is you're built like a shit. Who is gonna fucking do anything? What? Smash JT, bro. I barely know the guy. I've seen a picture of him. He's not gonna do anything. Dreamcast guy, bro. It looks like a folded pizza, bro. He's not doing shit. Who's gonna step up to you, bro?
No, but.
And you know it.
We've met.
And you know it.
No. Stop it. Stop it.
Now you're bullshitting. You know for a fact that you would beat the shit out of people, and you built the way you are, and that's why no one will step up to you.
I don't want to go to jail. I would never fight anybody.
That's another way of saying what I just said.
I have never threatened anyone. I've never done none of that. But being serious for a second, I legitimately were like, okay, let's just talk. Let's just talk. Because matter of fact, and I've done this with people online where I've hit them up and I'm like, yo, DM me, let's hop on a Discord and talk. And it's always a thing of, I just say, hey, air your grievances. What's your issue? And then we have a conversation. I was like, well, actually, that's not true because of this. Or actually, you're mistaking, I'm saying this because of that. And then we come to a common ground at the end, and that's it. You know what I mean?
You have reached out to people online, and like Reforged Gaming. I think you reached out to him.
Oh, that's a whole nother story.
What happened? What do you mean? You reached out to him. You wanted to just chat it through.
Oh, and he tucked his tail and didn't want to do it, but then he talks tough on his public stream. It's weird how that works. And look, since we're bringing it up, let's just go ahead and cut to the chase on that. Colt said something about him. He had a hissy fit over it, right? And then magically he can have a DM with Colt and they come to a understanding. So I went on his public chat and I was like, interesting. You sound like a hypocrite because I reached out to you and you wanted to ignore it and you try and turn it into this public spectacle. But
why
Colt
did you do
reaches
that?
out to you.
Why was he doing that but not with you? What's the reason?
I can tell you why. Because his whole gimmick is no. His whole gimmick is Xbox is bad, and we had just interviewed Phil, and anyone that talks to Phil or people at Xbox, you do their marketing points, and he called me an astroturfer and all this other silly shit. So I had DM'd him. Like, bro, it's not like that. Like, friendly, because I've talked to Reforge. Him and I have talked. Like, I've been on a show before all the crap happened to him a few years back. And then it was all of a sudden, I'm like,
you've talked to Reforge? What?
Oh, yeah. I talked to him as recently as maybe 2 years ago. I remember when he was talking about the Starfield going to PlayStation 5 rumors. And we had an offline conversation. You know, we kind of talked about the stuff that happened to him with Bungie and all that. And it was friendly. I'd never had an issue with the dude. But then when I saw him basically trying to lump everybody into one bucket, I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, man, that's not true. In other words, let's converse about this so I can explain to you what happened. And instead, he blanked me and he tried to spin it into, his whole thing is he tries to get member goals. Oh, give me a member goal, give me money, basically, right? So I'm like, F that guy. And then he realized he looked dumb, so he tried to publicly apologize. I was like, nah, F that. I don't want your apology. And then he crashed out, after that. But it's like, whatever, dude. That guy is what he is. He was see, my thing is, if I don't know you, if we've never conversed, I could care less. But if I've actually conversed with you, if we've actually spoken, and then you basically take that and try and use it for engagement or whatever, no, I'm gonna cuss you out.
Okay.
That's gonna happen.
That's not
because my thing is this, and I'm sure they'll look. The Clippers will be in the chat today, but
always.
I know there's people that disagree with me, don't like me, Xbox bad, all the stuff that comes with all that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm always shoot you straight on what I think, and I get shit wrong a lot. But that's part of sticking your neck out there and being public.
Oh yeah.
And wanting to have an opinion. You're not going to get everything right. Again, when Xbox changed their business strategy, I didn't think that shit was going to happen. No, really? They're not going to put Halo on PlayStation. That sounds crazy. Mm-hmm. And they did. What are you going to do?
Nothing.
Hey, I was wrong, and you keep it moving, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically.
I get that, I'm taking the piss, but the half of it is true. It's because you are built the way you are built, and no one's going to step up to you.
No, it's not.
Well, that's what you think, but we'll have to agree to disagree on that point. But you are right. The space is full of a lot of people faceless and would never show their face out there, just doing this bollocks. But I will say that, one, you've been terribly patient with me. I joke, you understand the nature of it, and I'd be prodding you, and you just take it on the chin. I'm like, this guy's a nice guy. I don't know why everyone has beef with him. But at the same time, I understand that. Well, I don't understand. What I also appreciate is that you'll reach out and try and resolve things. Obviously, yeah, and that's fair game. Like, I've tried to. The one time I would say maybe I faltered, and I mentioned this before, is when I had I don't really get on with it. I don't like this guy anymore, but Colin Moriarty, he was on my show early days of Game On Daily. He came on, him and Dustin Furman, they were really nice, and then there was some I made a source video, which is so obviously, I don't think the internet understands parody or satire. It's self-deprecating content. I give up a heads up to Dustin Furman, and he just unfollows me after the video come out, and I'm like, bro, I'm just having conversations with you. Like, I gave you forewarning. It's just understand the satirical nature of it. And then later on in some show, I sort of said, Dustin Furman, you're a piece of right. How dare you? And then Colin Moriarty goes, I'm surprised. And then I reached out to them and said, hey guys, by the way, I hope you haven't taken the source video that I made a while ago to heart. You both have unfollowed me after that. Anyway, I hope. And then it goes, I'm surprised you reached out to me. We came on your show, we were really nice, and then you called Dustin Furman a piece of shit. And I said, no, hey guys, I apologize. It's if not the only time I've publicly and privately profusely apologized to these guys. I'm like, guys, I didn't expect you to take it. Obviously, when I'm friends with people, I always take the piss. I'll call you a dick. I'll call you a bitch. I'll call you, because that's how me and my mates work. But it's unfair for me to expect everyone to be in that level, to joke that. So I said, if you've taken it the wrong way, I apologize. And you know what? I'll meet you in person, and I'll make that apology anyway. Not that you need to come on my show or anything, just to do that. Later on, it transpires this guy, his politics is fucking weird and all of this shit. And then he's cussing me out to his brother on the show, saying, he called me an absolute piece of shit, this and that. I'm like, oh, right, okay. This guy's actually a dickhead. But it's easy to spill out. It's easy to get involved. Having done this for years, having done the kind of content I do, which is incendiary by its nature and also satirical and also very tongue-in-cheek and kind of pushing the barriers of what's, I guess, acceptable in terms of humor, and a lot of content is PC and stuff. You tend to push the limits a little bit, and as I've grown older and hopefully a little bit wiser, I feel like, from their perspective, it could see a little bit oppressive. That I'm unrelenting in my criticism, or the joke. They don't handle the joke the way I do. I grew up in very multicultural, very different, raw. Like, my jokes between my friends, there'll be race jokes that will get me cancelled because they'll say stuff to me that you'll say, "Yes, that guy's being racist." But these are my close boys that will take a fucking bullet for me, and vice versa. It's just a different kind of background, different kind of upbringing, but to expect that everyone else to follow that, I've realized it's like, you know what, that the people are so different for me to.
So let me follow up on what you're saying, because obviously I got introduced to you, I was like, this guy's epic obnoxious and all that, but I know you're like at his core, I knew you were never like truly serious, you're like joking or whatever, right? But like, even when you would the kumbaya and all that kind of stuff, I'm that way for exactly everything that you say, because I don't know how people are good. Like, if I know you, like, and obviously we've met in person, you know how I can talk and get down, but I try to be respectful to people that I don't know online and all that, because, first impressions are everything to that. And I get we're in this era now of toxic positivity and all this other crap that goes on, but I genuinely try to have a positive outlook on the industry until they give you a reason not to. And then you call it out for what it is. And we're obviously in this era right now. I'm sure we'll talk about it as we go into this, but my thing is pretty simple. You give respect to get respect. Yeah. And I'm never like I said, even when people come at me with the most craziest, most obnoxious bullshit online, if you ever see, I will respond and go, let's have a conversation. Yeah. Let's talk. Yeah. Because I think a lot of it is performative. I think a lot of it is, I need an audience. I want people to see me. Like, again, the Reforge thing, come on my show, come on the show. Fuck that. Come talk to me privately like you would any other time. Why do I now have to publicly come on your show to have a conversation? We don't need to do that. Nib, as an example, I've talked to him privately. He is not the same privately as he is publicly. That is just a fact. Yeah. And I'm sure he'll write a 20-page ChatGPT AI novel saying I'm lying, but it's the truth. We actually had a very good conversation. And I really don't care. So I'll just say, what he wanted? Hey, can we publicly go into spaces and do this? No, I don't need an audience, I guess is my point. If I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. Now, if we wind up having a public conversation like you and I are having right now, so be it. But if you're going to grief at me and take things that I say that you don't agree with, and whatever the case may be, to the point where I'm like, look, I want to have a conversation with you, that's between me and you. If you want to go say what we talked about, go for it. The Brap dude, as an example, again, another weirdo that you know. I honestly, I think at this point, I think he has a crush on me or something, because I notice anytime I say something, he's got to quote tweet it, whatever, disagree with it, fine. Yeah. I literally, you want to talk about being a bully? I literally had to bully that dude to get on a phone call with me. Literally. Because he had every excuse in the book to not talk to me. Oh my God. And then finally, I just bullied him to the point where he did get on the phone. Conversation didn't start off great, I will admit, but by the end it was fine. In that convo, bro. But this is my point. Ain't none of your business. That's between me and him. I know, but I'd still love to hear it. Yeah. But that's how I am. That's how I operate. I would rather talk to you. We can cuss each other out until till the sun comes up. But if we can come to a meeting, even if we don't agree at the end, that's fine. That's what adults do. Yeah. It's like all this video game bullshit that we go through, and all the stuff that you see, and Xbox bad and PlayStation this and blah, 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 all the console war stuff that you see, it's so juvenile to me. And you know this, and I know you give me shit about it, but like, can we ever just have an actual adult conversation about this? And I know we'll get in the state of play, and we'll talk about all that stuff. Adult conversation will go down the toilet, but yeah, no, sorry. I mean, yeah. I know it will. I'll bring this up. Highguard. Yeah. Wasn't for me. I played it 45 minutes in. I was playing with Danny and his wife, and I was like, nah, I'm good. This is not what I want. Put it down, walked away. Literally said, wasn't for me. I gave it a shot. Wish them all the best. Clearly the best did not happen for them. That game's eventually going to go away. They've already laid off so many people.
Most of their staff, right? Like 80% or something.
Yeah, already most of the staff. So they're going to keep it going for a while, but we know what's ultimately going to happen. That game's going to go away. But my thing is, I don't need to run around celebrating its failure. You know, hey, the game wasn't for me. Wish them all the best. Damn, sorry that happened. You know, it got laid off. They tried something, it didn't work. That's going to happen a lot. My whole thing has been, and again, this is when Smash JT said some silly shit to me. You don't want these big budget games to fail. I'm telling you now. You don't need to be celebrating a game to fail. Like from Concord to the Highguard, Marathon potentially, like you don't want these games to fail, because what's going to happen is, as you're already seeing, they're getting laid off, the studio's closing. But the bigger thing is, the thing that people really should be concerned about is Microsoft, PlayStation, EA, Ubisoft, all these publishers, they're going to look at that and go, no, I'm not greenlighting that risky new IP. Make Fallout 5. Right?
So on that point,
make the next Last of Us, all that stuff. You're going to get sequels, and like we just got this God of War remaster that's coming out or whatever it is, right? You're going to get shit that's safe. I don't want safe. I want how gaming used to be, like during the 360 PS3 era, where we saw these new IPs. They were taking risks with stuff. They were innovating. It costs too much now. Games take way too long to come out. They cost way too much to make. These publishers are taking less and less risk. They're scaling back. And as a gamer, that's not what I want. So when I say you should root for games to succeed, that's what I mean by that. I'm not saying if a game is bad to not criticize it. Of course, if a game is terrible, call it out for what it is. If there was poor leadership that led to that game being bad, call it out. Of course, no one's saying to not see. This is where the toxic positivity and all this shit comes in. It's not what I'm saying at all. And this is what I'm saying. It's like you make a tweet, people interpret it however they want versus actually just reading exactly what you said. I had a dude that was saying that I can't even remember what it was now, because Cole even got involved, but like he literally missed the part where I said, if a game is bad, call it out, for lack of a better term, and had this whole 20-page rant where he was saying that I was protecting games. It's not what the F I said. Read what I said.
I know you better.
I mean?
Over a period of years, I've known you, and I've seen your Discord, and I will say I can see why the mistake is made with you. Because I've done that. I've done that with you. I'm like, and I at least comment publicly, like, Kumbaya, Parris, or shut the fuck up, Parris. And you know, your mate Danny Pena does it, but in a nice, like, friendly way, because you've been boys for a while. But I just do it in a more abrasive way. But that's my way of like getting to know you as well. But at the same time, I can see why people think that about you. But knowing you and then reading the full thing properly in the context of you as a person, I understand that one of the biggest, for the yellow chair guy, the guy who was sold out.
I meant to have it. It's literally right there. I should have said it.
Should have sat there, bro. And and people take that at face value. Oh, yellow chair, fucking Parris Loves, and you get it more than anyone. You get the brunt of it. Or maybe Young Ye or someone else does as well. But a lot of you're seen as that. When I looked into that, I'm like, all right, okay. Well, is Parris Loves really like a shill for these things? So and this is very early on. I looked at it and I said, oh, straight away, early, beyond the preview that all the press played, when you came out with your review, you were fucking scathing of that game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who know you as Yellow Chair Parris in the chat, ask yourselves how many of you knew that? If you know Parris Loves for his yellow chair and all that meme, did you know that he was very scathing of it in the review? Because I had to seek that out. People will pull out the most negative in you, and quickly that is emblazoned in the memories of people or the IDs of people, but no one will go out of their way to say, hey, no, actually, Parris Loves was very scathing. Here's a clip of him being very negative. But they will take the negative and put that out there. And you've got this weird virgins who do that constantly online. They literally just clip, and that's all they do. So this is where I saw that. I'm like, all right, okay, hold on a minute. This is not right. But I could see why, because the way the old guys used to perceive, I'm like, Parris is just being positive as fuck all the fucking time. And if someone said to me, who do you think of when you think toxic positivity? Your name will be one of the first that comes into my head. Not because I think you're toxically positive, but I know that's the perception you come in. When you say something like, we need to do better, my first gut instinct is shut the fuck up. I'm just being honest with you. And then I'm just I know you. I'm like, he's right. But at the same time, stop policing the way I feel. And at the end of the day, you're right. And when it comes to talking about, these are creatives. They've gone out their way to build something that's creative. They care a lot about this. They've spent years, working on this bit of craft. Their whole family knows about this creative bit of work. We make content. A video fails, we feel a certain way. Or, oh shit, that's shit. But imagine taking that at multiple degrees, multiple years of investment, and then real stakes at play with your pay, how you're perceived, this and that. And people then just shit on you like they're entitled to fucking shit on you. And I've done that. And I've done that, and I will continue doing that. But
I know.
I know. But the difference is this. When it comes to, if I have a choice between toxic positivity, and these are talking about extremes here, like being really nice, like guys, leave the devs alone. You can be a little bit negative, but let's just be positive, versus being, say, default Gaz, being really scathing, like what the fuck is this? How the fuck? Like David Jaffe. Let's talk about David Jaffe. Let's talk about God of War. God of War, Son of Sparta. That game that got revealed at the State of Play. This man built God of War. He's the creator of the IP. This man, without him, you wouldn't even be talking about it.
Right.
He built this game, and David Jaffe is a very divisive character, and I know I've seen you in his replies like, what the fuck is this? Delete this shit. This is dumb. Like someone's dead dad in the cemetery, and he's like, this is an Xbox, bro. I laughed my ass off at that joke, and I said, how the fuck can you do that? It's dumb. In private though, a lot of us would laugh. The thing is, David Jaffe doesn't mean it in a bad way, but it was an insensitive joke. And the other person accepted it, fine. As long as the other person is okay with it, all right, fine. Okay. But I laughed, and I said, I envied him. Because I said, this motherfucker can do whatever he wants, because he's retired, and he can say the shit that he wants, but his intentions weren't bad. And, we can't always glean intention. Right? It's always making a judgment call.
Yeah, it's the internet. Yeah.
It's the internet. But he says some fucking wild shit, and this guy who made God of War says the way he responded was what the fuck? How did you greenlight this? This is not God of War. This is dog shit. Then he gives you different examples of 2D Metroidvania games, this and that, and said this is much better, but this is dog shit. You don't know what you're doing. So he falls under the very negative side of it. Now imagine someone who worked at that game coming across that. I'm like, this guy's fucking. I love this guy. He's the reason why I worked on this game. And now he's saying my game is ass. And I feel hurt. To which I say, fucking get a grip. I don't give a shit about your feelings. That's the way I was brought up, Parris. My parents did not coddle me like that. There was no toxic positive. Forget toxic positivity. Positivity? If I got an A, my dad was like, why is it not A+? Typical Asian parent. Bloody bastard. Why is it not A+, bastard? It's the Asian mentality in me. And, I welcome it. Sometimes it was annoying. Sometimes I remember like, you'll never be happy, Dad. Like, fine. He goes, oh yeah, okay, you became a lawyer. All right, what else? What about your cousin though? Or that kind of mentality. But at the same time, it gave me a thicker skin, and I'm in an arena now in a creative space where people really genuinely fucking care. And if you do well, and you then inversely, you're seen as a fucking legend as well. So it comes with that. Gamers are a very dedicated bunch. If you smash it, they will build freaking statues out of you. If you fuck it up, they will shit on it. In David Jaffe's case, they will build a statue out of you, and then they'll take a shit on you after the fact. And so the gaming discourse is just so, I say, toxic or so polarized because there's so much emotion involved. And I'm sure there's a middle ground, and you're absolutely right. There's better ways to go about it, maybe. but I enjoy the rawness of the melee. I just enjoy it.
I know you do.
And I think ultimately balances out in that sense.
So, couple things on that. Yes, Jaffe and I have had our back and forths over the years, right? But at the same time, I do think he's allowed an opinion. Of course.
Yeah.
He created the goddamn series, so of course he's going to have an opinion about it, whether we like it or not. My thing is when it comes, and I'm not saying coddle the devs or, again, don't say anything mean. Games deserve criticism, of course. Look at Black Ops 7 as an example. Black Ops 7 was not a good Call of Duty, and it deserved all the heat that it got, so much so that what happened? They are no longer going to do back-to-back Black Ops or Modern Warfare games ever again, right? Yeah. They understand they can't just pump this stuff out. Now, we will see what Modern Warfare 4 will be later this year. You know, all the rumors and the speculation, it's going to be, quote-unquote, a really good Call of Duty. We'll see. But Cyberpunk, going all the way back to that, deserved all the freaking criticism that it got in 2020. And if you talk to people at CD Projekt Red, they will agree with you.
Yeah.
Because that game should not have seen the light of day in December of 2020. It clearly needed more time. If you think about it, Cyberpunk didn't get to the great state that it is right now until, God, 2 years later. Yeah. I think.
Maybe about
That's how much more time. Yeah, that they needed. So it's not about, oh, you can't critique this, like the Highguard thing. Let's just stick on Highguard. Highguard, again, wasn't for me. Clearly, the people have spoken because, and look, think what you want about Geoff Keighley or whatever. I don't think he had malicious intent by putting that game at the end of as the one more thing. It was something that he played. He obviously really enjoyed it. He was trying to, hey, I want to boost this team and get more eyeballs on it, which mission accomplished. 100,000 people were playing it the first day. So at that point, it is now up to the game to speak for itself. It's not about what Geoff Keighley did. You can think about whatever. Clearly, he didn't have financial stakes in it. They didn't have to pay to be there. He did all that himself. So it's like, take Geoff out at that point. Now it's about Highguard, the game itself. You got people to pay attention to it. I don't care that they flew out creators. You can call them shills or whatever. But 100,000 people decided to give that game a shot. And as we sit here today, there's only like 2,000 or 3,000 that are continuing to play it. So that's a failure on the game. That's a failure on them, the risks that they took with the design choices, all of that. And that's why I also said, hey, I wish them success, because even though I didn't like it, I'm like, well, maybe if they can stick around long enough and get enough community feedback, maybe they can iterate on it and get it to a good state. But going back all the way back to what I was originally saying, we're in a current era right now, in this current economic climate, however you want to say it. There's just too much money at stake, and these games are no longer getting that time, especially a live service game. Like Marathon, honestly, is going to be very interesting to me. Full disclosure, years ago, I was in the creator program. I went out to Bungie, played it early, the whole thing.
All right.
This obviously this closed alpha that came out, last year, didn't like it. Gave my feedback. Again, full disclosure, I'm still a part of the program. I still see a few things early or whatever, but there's obviously NDAs, embargoes with all that stuff. But with that said, I have no idea what the current build looks like. I've not played it, whatever. I'm just as fascinated and interested as everyone else. I've heard whispers. They've made a lot of progress. Things that they're doing is looking like, hey, it might be a thing. But did they already get too bad of a reputation with the stolen art and just the bad look that closed alpha was, that it doesn't matter what they do at this point? And how patient will PlayStation be with Bungie on this before they pull the plug? Obviously, Concord, there was zero patience for that. They pulled that shit after like 10 days. So look, Bungie is legendary studio. We think about it. I was just explaining this to my son the other day because he's been going through playing all the old Halos, and I was telling him how Max Kleberman, I believe that's how you say his name, but anyways, at Bungie at the time, essentially created the party chat and everything that we saw for what we have today with modern console multiplayer games, right? So obviously Bungie's near and dear to my heart. I played Destiny for 10 goddamn years.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Bungie fail, but Marathon has to be good. They don't get a pass if it's not good. If people, and the thing is an extraction shooter, well, obviously Arc Raiders is kind of proving that it still is, but we'll see. And if it's not good, yes, you criticize it. But I think the whole point I'm making here. I think some people go over the top with it. I think some people go out of their way to just be overly critical and just overly negative. And on the flip side, I think some people go out of their way to be overly positive and overly praising of something that doesn't necessarily deserve it either extreme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I come in and I'm like, man, let's just call it like you see it. Yeah, that's fair. Even if a game isn't for you, you don't have to just consistently shit on the game, I guess is my point. Say your piece, keep it moving. If you really like a game, obviously, if you love something, you're clearly going to praise it and cheerlead it for it, but don't do it to the point where people are just like annoyed with you, like you're saying, like, oh, me toxic positivity guy or whatever, right? You don't want that, because then people tune you out. They don't believe anything that you say. They're not going to listen to you. Again, like I said, on either extreme. So I personally try to stay in the middle of it, and people clearly can judge what they think of my opinion going from there. I hope all that made sense. I feel like I was rambling at the end.
No, you know, it's interesting to have that perspective of yours, and it's a measured one. Like, people will say, Gaz, you are the polar opposite of exactly what Parris Lilly is talking about, and that's true. I completely concede to that. I think there are merits to what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. It's actually the sensible approach. What you're essentially saying is have a measured response, give good feedback, and don't dwell on the issue to be so, you know, corrosive in your feedback that, you know, then it spills out to becoming personal, it might hurt feelings, and ultimately it's an art form. You should give your critique and then move on, and I completely understand that. I won't do that. The reason why I won't do that is because I have a stressful day life in a job, and I want to be a dick in real life, and so I can take out on everyone else. No, the real reason why I don't do that is because I saw it with Highguard. Highguard, I said, don't auto. Look at this, is the most calm in the middle. This is me being Parris Lilly. This is me saying, well, I would say this irrespective of what it was. I said, look, don't just write it off. It's not another Concord. It's a decent game. It's got good ideas, and it's solid. It works at launch. Will it have very early impressions? Question whether it has the longevity. I just don't think it will have the long legs. But it's that they've done something. They've committed to a vision, and it's got its work cut out. The same thing for Marathon. Marathon, at first I saw it, didn't have prox chat, didn't really know what they were doing. Their rationale was stupid. They were like, oh no, we were thinking about, you know, like it's going to be negative. And I'm like, the whole fucking point about these extraction games is the social, you know, interaction. I purposely play a character being a bad guy in the game, being a dick in Arc Raiders, because I'm playing that character, build a trust. It's a meta game in itself. And you building an extraction shooter and say stuff like that is like, are you really Bungie? Do you know what multiplayer is like? You know, and this, you went about building this building this what's it called, genre of game, committing to this with all the pressure that you have from Sony to assimilate you with the targets that you're not hitting because your independence is on the line, which is pretty much gone now, let's be honest. Then you've committed to this extraction shooter, and you're half-hearting it, like you're getting limp-wristed attitudes to it. The theft was obviously inexcusable, that's been resolved, but you know, at the same time it's like, what the fuck? So it felt like these guys didn't know what they were doing. Now, me being the former Xbox guy and just the toxic console warrior, I loved shitting on Marathon because it's a representation of PlayStation constantly struggling to do what they've always decried, a whole genre, which is multiplayer. And now Sony commits massively to it, and it falters, including its best studio, Naughty Dog, completely fails. But then I find myself, I'm still a gamer at the end of the day. I love Bungie. I've loved Bungie since I played Oni on the PS2, I believe. I love games. And park the fanboy content creator to one side, I wanted this game to be good. I paid for the freaking limited edition for a reason. I wouldn't do this, and I rarely buy this shit. I don't buy this. The last one is fucking, what's it called? The Starfield one. And I bought that because it's not because I want to support the devs. I just like their shit, and I will support them. I'll go out of my way to support you. When it comes to those microtransactions, you get money out of me, real money out of me. I'm a piece of shit when it comes to that. I'm a problem. But then they worked hard. Then they took the feedback. To me, I haven't played it yet. So full disclosure, I have not played it. So they worked hard. They're working hard and they've listened to feedback. They clearly took notes from Arc Raiders, and that's not a bad thing. You can hold your hands up, and they did, and responded accordingly. Whether or not this game is going to be a guaranteed success, I don't know, but I want it to be good. And every time they show it, it looks great. And it looks better.
And that's the thing. And that's my thing. I want it to be good, but if it's not, it's not. And you call it like you see it, you know, when it ultimately releases. I mean, when is that beta? The 26th.
26th, yeah. So not next week, but the following week. And I can't wait to play that. And it's going to be a good, it's like, have I just wasted money on this thing? Well, I'll still appreciate the art, so it'll be there. But at the same time, it's like, I reckon they can pull it off. When I say pull it off, I'm not saying they're going to hit Arc Raiders, because Arc Raiders is something special. Arc Raiders is special on so many different levels. Arc Raiders is special because of its AI. The AI in that game is incredible. I've not played... it hits all the things I've talked about. Incredible AI that gets smarter by the week because of his adaptive learning or whatever machine learning shit. It got amazing sound design. I can't believe it didn't win any audio awards because it was fucking amazing. So engrossing. Visuals amazing. UE5 didn't even use all the tools that cause the stutter and still looks incredible. The art design, the way the level is designed, everything's just curated. Everything feels different. Every area seems unique. It's like they thought about it, hand drawn to that mad level. And then the PvE, the prox chat, all the things that Marathon wasn't doing initially. Even things like the free loadout run, and it just comes together in this beautiful, incredible game. Marathon and Bungie, I can shit on them because I'm like, I want on for the views, but which one of these toxic console warriors will go out of their way to defend or vouch for the opposing platform's game? No one does it. Marathon. I have PlayStation guys telling me that this game is ass, and I'm going like, well, I'm vouching for this game. And the Xbox hardcore, like, you're such a fucking pony bot sellout. Why are you vouching for it? Because I want it to be good. And if it's shit, then it's shit, and I will say it. I'm like, well, I fucking wrong. It was terrible, but I don't think it will be. But I don't know. Let's see. We'll find out in 2 weeks. But Marathon was one of the better looking games. Now, Parris, speaking of toxic positivity and shit like that, the state of play happened, and I genuinely, a lot of the sad fanboys were on my case on this one. Before I go ahead, what was your impression of the state of play? What did you think?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was honestly one of the better ones they've done in the past few years, but I also went in with realistic expectations. I was not expecting to see Wolverine or Intergalactic or some surprise Spider-Man 3 or some shit like that. I'm like, we might see Soros. They're going to show a bunch of third-party stuff, and anything else first-party is probably going to be, smaller AA type titles. And that's exactly what it was. The Castlevania game looked great to me. Patrol Resonant looks fantastic to me. We're getting more Kena. Love the first one. I mean, we'll see what this God of War remake thing is going to be, but clearly they're putting effort into it because they're bringing TC back. So he's obviously recording new dialogue. Let's see what the visual upgrade looks like. It's a ways off, obviously, because it's more of an announcement than, hey, you're about to get it. So I don't think you're seeing this in 2026, maybe 2027, could even be 2028 at this point. But yeah, I thought it was a very solid, realistically partner showcase.
What would you, out of A to D, what would you give it?
I give it a B.
B? Yeah, sounds like a B based on what you're saying. I would give it a C. I would give it a C because I feel PlayStation, as the market leader and having successive shit shows throughout, and making a big hoo-ha about this market leader's first party output and the importance of exclusives and their first party stuff, just built interest to Discharge. Before the show came in, everyone was like, oh, well, this is basically a PlayStation showcase because it's an hour and 6 minutes long and they've got so many third parties and first parties, gonna be fucking great. So when I watched that show, and then saw the reactions online, I was like, oh, hold on a minute. You gave Geoff Keighley so much shit for his Game Award show, which I thought was better. But it was only because the way it ended that you guys gunned him, because the next big thing was Highguard. And what's the next big thing for? And the way it ended? Fucking 2D God of War that looks like ass? So I still have this demand for a PlayStation to discharge its burden when it comes to first party, and this year is its best year in years when it comes to first party on what's actually even releasing. You've got Marvel Stockholm, you've got Soros, which I'm looking forward to. One of the few people that actually vouched for Returnal when it came out and called it Game of the Year. Then it was what else? Then you've got Wolverine, which they didn't show. And what did they show this showcase? Kena 2, great. Not really first party, but Sony's helping them. I'll give them a badge. That's nice. And Kena 2 looks brilliant. So much third party stuff I'd already seen. Galactic Racer I'd already seen. Beast of Reincarnation seen, and it was on Dev Direct. But so much shit. If you go back, everything is on PC, barring Soros, Wolverine, and something else.
I think Soros not being on PC is a mistake personally, but
I know also think it's a mistake.
That's a whole nother argument for another day.
I think so. I think Soros you could carve it out, and like with Returnal, it was niche, it's roguelite, whatever. It's gonna have its work cut out. Obviously, the rebranded stuff will work. They made the Soros that they showed off. They were literally showing off the accessibility options and basically saying, look, it's not that hard. And I was like, oh, that's fucking great. So you don't want to alienate everyone. But the thing that I liked about Returnal was the fact that it was hard. So when I completed it, I was like, that was my achievement.
Felt satisfied.
Exactly. Yep. Just like with Elden Ring, and which I still need to, I've tried it twice. I need to go back again. I'm PC now to restart my save. And there's a sense of achievement. And you've got to get rid of that. The same thing with Sifu. I love Sifu. But when you added those difficulty modes, I'm like, well, that takes away from the craft of it, the feeling of it. So what do they show? PlayStation guys repeatedly say that Sony don't show off things for that ages away. So I'm expecting, what are these studios doing? What's the Sony Santa Monica doing? You guys are saying on the one hand, this is going to be PlayStation Showcase event. So I want to see what your first party is doing. You spend so much energy online talking about first party, exclusivity. Every freaking 90% of the games are on PC, so exclusive is bullshit. When they don't come to PC, you're having a wank. When it comes to PC, oh, this is standard. And then you talk about first party. Where's the new showcase? This is a showcase event? Show me the games. What? Fucking splash screen logo. The same thing that you make fun of Nintendo with Metroid, with Xbox, they show their logo. They show you a freaking logo. And then they show you that this is, and they're remakes. They're remakes of the old games, and you may love it. And they're still early in development. So you're going to see them when? In 3 years? 4 years? It's like, Sony, for me, is just like, they've cashed it in. They're just taking the path of least resistance. They're going back in their back portfolio. We're going to produce this stuff. And I'm like, fuck's sake, man. And that's what pisses me off about the lack of exclusivity and Xbox not being, forsaking it. Because I guarantee you, if Xbox maintained that, forget COD exclusive, if they maintain a set, all this shit is going to be exclusive to us, wouldn't be the Sony you would have. They would be scrambling hard to make sure that they do something to distinguish themselves in the first party stake. And to me, it was just a reflection of, this is safe, Sony. Come back online. People are still wanking it off because they're so... Stockholm Syndrome has set in on the PlayStation fan base that they've been coddled by so many successive shit shows and lukewarm shows that anything little... And this was their best show. This was their best show in a very long time. But then you say, oh, give it a 10 out of 10? I'm like, bruv, your standards are gone. You're finished. You're now accepted. That's it. So don't ever bark or open your mouth when it comes to like an Xbox or something and they'll just do the exact same thing. Sorry, go ahead.
So two things on that. I hear what you're saying. And again, I actually just talked about this in a video earlier this week. In the old way, all of this gaming business happened, you're 100% correct. Xbox stays exclusive. These IPs are exclusive. It pushes competition. PlayStation would have way more incentive to be aggressive with their first party lineup. So 100% agree with you. I think the second part of this that people need to understand is, don't forget, there was allegedly, mandate within PlayStation, they were pushing hard on live service games. So a lot of these studios were incubating live service stuff. As we know, a lot of that shit got canceled. So now these studios are having to quote unquote start over. New IP, you know, whatever sequel IP, whatever they're doing, takes time. So they're just simply not ready to show off anything. I mean, think of this as an example. Naughty Dog. If Naughty Dog wasn't doing Last of Us Factions, Intergalactic was probably out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
As an example, right? But they got canceled. Now they had to refocus and do something else. Really, the only two consistent studios that PlayStation has had this generation, ironically enough, has been Insomniac and Housemarque.
Yeah.
That's it. Everyone else has had to reconfigure and do other things. So what has PlayStation had to do? They've leaned heavily on their
money hunting,
the partnership stuff. Yeah, the partnership stuff, time exclusivity, and obviously a lot of the third-party stuff that they've been getting in. And because Xbox, their business model, they got 90 plus million PS5s out there in the world, right? Xbox is putting Forza Horizon 6 and Fable and Gears E-Day and all this stuff there. So sure, they're not getting the 70%, but they're getting a 30% cut off of all this stuff or whatever, you know, they wind up negotiating with Xbox on that. So it's almost like they're here's my theory. And I'm sure PlayStation people get mad at me for saying this. I think PlayStation is just biding time for PS6. I think all these studios, you're asking, well, what the hell are they working on? I think they're working on stuff for PlayStation 6. So I think this is more about 2028, 2029 than it is 2026, 2027 for them. So like, I personally think Intergalactic is a cross-gen title.
100%.
I think it comes out with the PlayStation 6. So I think you're going to get Wolverine now.
I think
Spider-Man
so too.
3, all the other stuff that's PlayStation 6. And whatever other new IPs that they're working on, I think that stuff is PlayStation 6. And ultimately, they don't have the urgency, I guess is the word I'm looking for right now, because the competition has changed. Xbox said, we tap out. We tapped out on hardware. We're not doing that anymore. We're not going to try and compete. We're not going to, and look, Phil said it when he was on with us. We can't out console PlayStation.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if Starfield is 11 out of 10, all that stuff that he said. So they acquired Activision. Let me back up just a second since we bring in an Xbox just a second. The reason I get so much shit, because people love to pull the videos from 2020, 2021 when I was talking about Game Pass exclusivity, all that stuff, right? Because when they acquired Bethesda, they were still doing exclusivity. It was Activision that changed everything for them. And obviously there's all this AI shit that's going on and all that. So now y'all better make some money.
Yeah.
Well, we're not selling hardware at a big enough clip. All right, let's experiment, just 4 games. Let's see what we can do on PlayStation. And the answer was, people on PlayStation will buy Xbox games. They may not want to buy your hardware, but they sure as hell will play your games. Sea of Thieves has been a hit for them. Forza Horizon 5 has been a runaway hit for them, so much so that when Forza Horizon 6 comes out, I'm telling you now, outside of Call of Duty or GTA 6, it's going to be top 5 selling game.
Oh, PlayStation, easily.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just where we are now.
But that's what I mean. But that's what they're
yeah.
playing it safe. And this is the abuse, and this is where it kind of extension of your toxic positivity stuff. I completely understand, and I completely agree with you in your the way you've evaluated the state of affairs and market and how Xbox's failings have led to where we are now, and Xbox.
Hold on, pause. See, I watch the chat while I'm on here, so Lou, Tron, Z, whatever the fuck your name is, I never said that. You will never find a clip where I was ever actively rooting for Activision. If anything, I said this is a red flag. No more after this. It's too much. I said it then. Pull up every Xcast I was on during that time. I never said that. So this is what I go and talk about again. People make up shit in their head with no actual facts because that's the narrative they want to run with. I've never said that about Activision, ever. Continue, please.
Lutron's in the chat. He's loving it. Yeah, but okay, that's the market assessment. That's how Xbox did it. PlayStation, they have more cancelled games than announced games, and they fucked up. And that's the excuse for what they're doing. But then when everyone comes out and they showed like Kana and someone was like 10 out of 10 already, that's it. These guys have phoned it in. The habitual guys who bark online, talk about standards, comparative or Xbox, PlayStation, and they freaking give them this 10 out of 10 already. That means these people will never, with the exception of Jack Move. Jack Move gave it a 10 out of 10. He's been very critical. I don't know where he's coming from, but poor guy I feel like he's been beaten so much he wants to be a little bit positive or he'll just jump off a cliff. So Jack Move, we need to chat. I don't know why you gave it 10 out of 10, but for the rest of the people giving it 10 out of 10, that is an extension of the toxic positivity, because that suggests to me that you've adjusted your standards so much that you will accept anything from PlayStation when it comes to a showcase. They will shit in your mouth and you'll call it a 5. But if this is a 10 and you don't give a shit about your first part and half the stuff you already know, so then fuck it. For me, it's just like, I came online, I'm like, 10? 10? 10? What are you talking about? 10? Like, your market leader is just sitting here fucking just coasting like it's Colin McGregor, but the reality is Khabib is choking the shit, and that's it. And we're just watching this fucking basic, lazy bollocks. And the third place struggling Xbox, even they're doing a better job of getting you excited about their first party lineup. I'm sorry. Like, it's like, I mean, you've set your standards now, fanboys. That is a 10 for you. So I want to see your 10 out of 10 stacked up against the Summer Showcase, which may be shit for Xbox, who God knows what. But if that's... You'll be happy for a logo reveal. You'll be for remakes. 3 that are early in development. And you're gonna fucking love Halo, the remake. It's coming out on PlayStation, right? And then you're gonna suck the dick out of it when they show it at the Summer Showcase because it's coming out this year. So that's it. Or it might even be a shadow drop. The God of War freaking 2 Sons of Sparta. Now, that Oliver Crackhead Darko just stalks me online. He doesn't play video games, but he literally tweets all day. Went back to 2024, said, I like it when they go, I like AA's and indies, which I still do. But then he posted my reaction to the next big God of War, the final reveal. And it's that 2D fucking God of War game. And I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, that's it? Bruv. Just because I like indies and AA's doesn't mean I have to like every indie and AA, especially when you big up the next big reveal and your final thing is a 2D game that looks like ass. Straight ass. It looks like shit. Maybe I'm wrong. I played Returnal that same day and it's just nice. It was beautiful. It's made by an indie team. This passion project from a studio that's taken on from, signed off by Sony Santa Monica produced that and it doesn't even look good. Maybe it plays good. I want to see the reviews. And I mean actual reviews from people on that game. Not the 5 stars that everyone gave it on the store the moment it came out because it's been carried by the God of War name. I'm already side-eyeing God of War discourse because of Ragnarok, which I fucking dropped because halfway through the game meandered like shit. And I feel like I need to go back and complete it because I think people fucking glazed the shit out of it. And I need to play it and I don't think it deserves the same Metacritic score that it did of 2018, which I loved. But we'll see. I want to see whether that game is good.
So full disclosure. PlayStation did send me a code for the game, so I have been playing it.
And what do you think?
And I've not finished it yet, but I will say it's okay. It's not the greatest thing ever in the world, but it's kind of cool to see something in the God of War universe. I think $30 is too much, though. I think it should have been 20. That's kind of what I think now.
How is that 30? It's like 40 quid here. I don't know. It sounds like 30 quid for that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm leaning. I guess if I would say now, it's 7 out of 10 up in there somewhere, probably. I think obviously if you're a God of War fan, maybe it's something you want to check out, but I think it should have been $20, or it should have just been like on PlayStation Plus Premium or something, right? I think
that's kind of game you'd expect on that kind.
Yeah.
It better be fucking good. Parris, you got it. It's fine. You want one of those glazing the shit out of it. The people who did, they were like, fucking Sony cook. I want to see. Maybe I should play that. I've got a decent backlog of good looking games that I want to play. Like Replaced. Yeah? Don't say, oh, guys, you don't like AA's. I'm playing AA's and indies mostly. I haven't. Arc Raiders, I guess, is a AA plus, so it's, but it kind of almost veers towards the AAA territory. But I'm playing Kronos as AA, and I've got Hades too. But the glazing was ridiculous. And when Jaffe came out and said what he did, I was like, this is the guy who created God of War is not allowed to talk about it. And everyone beefing him. What have they created? The only thing you guys are creating that coming after David Jaffe is what? The ejaculate that resides on your hentai pillow, bruv. You are not in a position to talk against the creator of God of War about God of War, bruv. And what is God of War? Like, you guys say, oh, he's living up past glories. Oh, he's lost his shit. David Jaffe does say some wild shit, but bro, the most things you created is literally the spank bank that is your sock that resides underneath your fucking desk, bruv. It's how you chatted so much, bro. It's crazy. But that was God of War. What else was good? That's this fucking 10 out of 10 show. What was good? Tell me. Just Parris, tell me what was good in this 10 out of 10 show, bruv.
That Castlevania game, man.
Castlevania. One thing with Konami, these bastards fucked off from the gaming scene because they like pachinko machines. And I've never really been all right, you dickheads think we're just like little side pieces. You just cussed us out. Then came back in again because the pachinko jig clearly didn't work. So I'm not that hot on Konami, but the Konami waiting is quite, I think, influential. It's maybe perhaps the reason why there's a disparity in between my perception of the show and a lot of other people's. But Konami thinks Castlevania looked good. Castlevania looks good. And they even said it looked good. Then there's Metal Gear Solid 4, another remake is coming to Xbox and PC and all of that, and I don't give a shit again. I'm just, like, I'm so sick and tired of that. And it's Konami. It's like...
Well, I think people are excited about that it's finally been decoupled from the PS3. I mean, it was literally locked in jail on the PS3, so I think that's where the excitement... Like, personally, didn't like MGS4, so I'm like, whatever. But I get it. I get the excitement. I thought Kena, Control...
Which we've seen already, but okay.
Yeah. All that looked great. We've already seen Resident Evil and Pragmata 10 million times, so that was, I want to play
Silent Hill, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good as well. So that's what I mean. There was a lot of great third-party stuff. I think the criticism would be their own first-party stuff, which I think is valid. I tell you this, they were very smart to get ahead of the state of play and show that Horizon co-op thing, and not put it in the state of play, because that would have dominated the conversation, regardless of what you think of it. Me personally, not a fan of the art style. We'll freaking see. But visually, I was like, really,
bro? That purple, that weird color palette has been done to death. And I'm sorry, bro. Horizon, I swear, Horizon is just viewed, I don't know, Sony reps that franchise way too much. And because you might say, well, the sales make sure, confirm that. It's because you bundled the shit out of that game with the consoles, man. I don't know. And I'm not saying that for visually it's astounding. It's just one of the best looking games out there. But Aloy, so dry. I played, I couldn't even get into it. I was like, fuck this. And a lot of people say that. And I just think Horizon is just being gassed up a bit too much. Why this multiplayer? But then this co-op multiplayer live service, whatever bullshit that you're making, and it looks so generic. And why in Horizon? And I bro, you know what it is? I put more respect on Sony's first party studios than Sony fanboys do. Because these guys will just take it in the ass, no Vaseline, and just accept everything. I want a Killzone. I think Guerrilla Games are massively talented. The way they produce Horizon's visuals.
One of the best in the world.
And every time I say, just make another Killzone, people are like, oh no, they tried it and it failed. I'm like, motherfucker, they made look at the Metacritic score of Killzone 2. That was, do you know how good it looks even to this day? Just because they failed with Shadowfall, that's it, they give up. You want another Horizon game? You want another multiplayer, whatever the fuck that is in Horizon mode? Who cares? And
so let me ask you this question though.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question to that point. I get you with Killzone. But what if that's not what Guerrilla wants to do? So are you going to force them to do it, or are you going to hand Killzone to another studio and then it doesn't live up to the pedigree of what you want it to be?
If Guerrilla Games don't want to work on Killzone, then they shouldn't work on Killzone.
And that's my point.
If they still want to work on the Horizon games, then every developer at Guerrilla Games should get a mandatory lobotomy.
No way, you can't say that.
Fucking, bruv, it's so fucking dry, bruv. Just, oh my days.
But you know what though? I like Horizon. I like it though.
I know.
No. Let me ask you this. Just sticking on that for just a second, because remember I was talking about. I think Insomniac and Housemarque have kind of been the standouts this generation for them. I mean, Guerrilla is, an S tier studio. Let's not get that twisted at all. But we clearly, Herman Hulse, obviously, that's where he started all that stuff. Horizon was a thing for them. And I ask you this question, because if I'm wrong, I'm sure the chat will correct me. But Horizon is probably the last new IP that they've created that's been a hit.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else, right? Aloy, I mean, what else has there been? And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying it as the reality of it. I can't think of anything else that they've created, because of what was Horizon 2018?
Yeah.
They've created since then that's been a standout new IP for them, like a mascot, franchise or whatever for them.
Well,
I mean, Returnal, as much as we love it, it hasn't sold huge. So what has it been?
That was coming from an indie studio. And Housemarque were indie. I guess now it's AA. But with Horizon, they made 2 games. So Guerrilla Games have made 2 games that are successful, quote unquote successful. 2018 on its own merits, and I do feel like, and perhaps this wasn't just the bundles. Perhaps it, because Forbidden West is not a terrible game. Critically did well. It looks beautiful. I just feel like
Ghost of Tsushima, that one. Obviously, the Ghost franchise is big for them. Someone says it.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is amazing. And I just feel like they're leaning heavily on Horizon, and you'll see diminishing returns. I think the only way the next Horizon sells well is, again, if it's a PS6 launch title. I think that's the only way it'll sell well. In a bigger level, on a level that matches, say, something like Forbidden West. I just feel like there's a bit of fatigue set in on that. I think there's I don't know.
Well, you also have to think of this too, because I know Jason Schreier essentially alluded that we're a long ways off from Horizon 3, which goes back to the point. I think that it's a PlayStation 6 title, but also this co-op game has probably been in development for a while, and you would think of all their big studios, would they really want to cancel something that Guerrilla's been working on for X amount of years?
I'm not suggesting they cancel it. I don't suggest they cancel it. But yeah, the poll chat, 38% of you said it was a B-rated show. Agree with Parris. 37 said C. So it's about B and C. It's just fine. God Emperor Sophie, thanks so much for the 5. Konami owns Yu-Gi-Oh!, one of the top 3 most popular trading card games. TCG worldwide, consistently ranking behind Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. Okay. What do you want me to do with that super chat, bruv? Konami are doing that. Okay. But fuck it. So what? Konami suck. But the Silent Hill might be good. That's all. And Castlevania. That did look good. But so I think Konami waiting played a big part in it. But they're again, third-party titles. When I see a PlayStation State of Play, PlayStation Showcase, I want to see something from PlayStation. I don't want to see third parties. A rerun of Geoff Keighley's show.
I think it's the naming. Think about it, Xbox has a partner showcase, so you're not expecting Xbox games there. I think if it wasn't called State of Play and it was called something else, I think people would been a little more receptive to it, because like I said, the third party games, like the vast majority of them, all look great. It's all shit I want to play. Now,
Geoff Keighley's show was amazing, but people rinsed it because of the way it ended. But they showed half the games you're talking about now, apart from that chicken game, which looked really good.
The chicken. I forgot about the chicken game.
The chicken game's good. Which throws me off, man. That freaking chicken. That game, I don't get it. Like, I want to like it so much. It's so epic, so violent. And you've got masses of enemies on screen, and then you're this chicken, and I'm like, that's kind of putting me off, man. Like, it's a fucking chicken. Like, at least, I don't know, but pick a cooler animal than a chicken. It's just weird. I can't take it serious. That Chicken Little isn't so chicken anymore. It's just, He's been training with Parris Lilly at the gym, and now he's fucking ripped. But also, Alfonso was telling me that it might be like a Dynasty Warriors type game. And it's just like, oh, right. Which I might not be that interested in. What else was there? Apart from Chicken Game.
And then what, the Legacy of Kain stuff?
Again,
Not
more
for me,
remasters,
so
the
it's
same
like-
shit. It's
yeah.
like, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
remasters, remakes. And it's just like, bruv, if that's all it is, then fuck it, man. I don't know, man. And I'm the bad guy. What have I done? No, I genuinely thought it was like, right. I wanted to see. Look, irrespective of all my bullshit, and I love shit, flinging shit at PlayStation, guys. You deserve it. You toxic pieces of shit. You deserve it. Trust me. But unlike you bastards, I actually am excited for games that at PlayStation show that are good. Like this, I'm excited for. I'm the outlier here when it comes to Marathon. That's my money I spent to buy this. I keep vouching for it. I get shit on the neck from everyone about this game. If this game fails, everyone's gonna come at me. Gaz, you fucking idiot. You're basically vouching for Concord 2.0 with this game? And I'm just saying, I want it to be good.
My thing, look, it's Bungie, so you know the gunplay is going to be good. The gunplay was even good in the alpha last year, so that's not going to be the issue.
Yeah.
It was just there was not a lot going on in the world. Not to mention the proximity chat. It was like all these quality of life things. It was like, why are these not here? Type things, right? And I think this is what the delay hopefully is fixed.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Like you said, I'm rooting for it. I want to play it. I want it to be good. But if it's not, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised. And that's kind of just this weird place that Bungie is in, because we're not used to Bungie of all studios, you know, having something where we got to question it. We're like, is it going to be good day one? I mean, we'll see. Honestly, this stress test, beta, whatever you want to call it, on the 26th is make or break for them. Because
100%.
that's the first impression, because that's the free entry into anyone that's curious about this, playing it. You know, there's gonna be streamers showing it off. If it's not good, people aren't gonna go buy it on the 5th. That's just
only
the
like 2
reality of
days
it.
before the 2 or 3 days before the release of it.
Yeah.
Or it ends 2 or 3 days before that's gonna be, you're right, that is gonna be make or break, man.
Yep.
And the reason why I'm excited for it is exactly what you said, the Bungie gameplay. I see the gunplay, and the gunplay looks good. So I'm like, please be good, man. I'm so happy that multiplayer games at the tail end of last year started to finally make some memes with Battlefield 6, which has kind of gone down a little bit, and partly thanks to Arc Raiders that just skyrocketed. But hopefully we'll, you know, Marathon will make it. But you're absolutely spot on. It's gonna be it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. And we saw with Highguard, there's no, with multiplayer titles compared to single player games, the standard is much higher. It's so saturated, and you're fighting for, your survival depends on an active user base, not just on day one, but consistently showing up over a sustained period of time. And if they don't turn up, you will fail. And even if with Highguard you make a decent game is not good enough. You need to make an exceptional game to catch the zeitgeist of players when it comes to multiplayer. And it's not. And
Yeah, man. I mean, it's, like I said, we're just in this era right now where, I mean, unless you're Fortnite, live service isn't really sustainable. It's like you either got to be a mega hit or you're a failure. There's like no in between. I don't know.
This is why when Highguard's developer said, we want a small dedicated niche of gamers, I'm like,
That's not gonna work.
how small are we talking, bro? Because if you now have got to consist at least 10, 15,000 or 20,000, really, how are you going to make money? You have to have an aggressive roadmap of like content and seasons for this to be viable. You need to move up. Now, if you're Highguard developers, if you're listening, I think you had like a 3-month thing, push that down to 1 month. Just work hard to get the season out. It's gonna fail. You've got a skeleton crew, so it's not even possible. But push that, squeeze that roadmap down to like condense it to freaking 3 seasons in one go in 1 month. Otherwise, that thing's about to die, and it might be too late already. Before we go, we have a few topics to discuss very quickly beyond just PlayStation. Generally, look, bro, I thought it was shit. No, it wasn't shit. It was good. It was decent. It's a decent show if you look at it, not treat it like a PlayStation show. You treat it like a third-party show. But if you're looking for PlayStation goodness, to match all the noise and all the, the bullshit that we see online and all the freaking chest beating out, nah. I'm sorry. And PlayStation guys calling this a 10 out of 10. Your standards have dropped so fucking far down that Stockholm Syndrome has set in, and I can't take you seriously. Before we go, we have a few topics, including the glow up. We talk about multiplayer games, okay, but this is quite a good segue. Well, there is one game that defied the odds, and it's Overwatch 2, bro. Overwatch 2 has come back from the freaking grave, lad, and is making memes by dropping the number 2 out of his name. Overwatch just killed it. I think it peaked at 165,000 players just on Steam alone at the same time. That's crazy considering most of the players don't even use Steam to access Overwatch. They play on Battle.net.
Or it's BNet, yeah.
And they're having a healthy, they're top 10 now. They're doing really well. And the reason why is because, not just because of the visual dropping out the 2, they changed the model for the game, whereby they are now free to play and they've got new heroes in there. And I haven't played it. I bought Overwatch 2 day one, the deluxe edition. Played it, and I thought, what the fuck's where's the 2 in this? Obviously, they dropped the story mode, which was what we were looking forward to because the characters and the character designs were so compelling. But then they stripped it back. And the reason why Overwatch 2 was so shit was because of Bobby Kotick. Bobby Kotick is the reason why Overwatch 2 was even made. The developers inside Blizzard were pissed at the fact that this guy was forcing them to make Overwatch 2, which ended up being an absolute shit show. And then now Overwatch represents what the developers actually want for the IP. They've come back. They said, look, let's just strip up this bullshit, man. Let's decouple all the legacy of the nonsense that we had to deal with Bobby Kotick, and let's just sort it out. So you got to give a little bit of props to, I guess, to Microsoft there as well, to having some commitment. Obviously, they'll be stupid to forsake Overwatch, but Blizzard, there's more to Blizzard rather than Xbox, for going back, looking at it, and changing the model, introducing content, and seeing massive rise. Now, whether it's sustainable and that's the thing, will it? Do you think it will survive? Do you think this Overwatch 2 is back in a sustainable level, appreciable level?
I think it might be. Well, and I am blanking on her last name, but Joanna, oh my God, she runs Blizzard now.
Okay, I've forgotten her.
I'm blanking on the name, I apologize, but she's a quote unquote rising star in this industry, right? Like, it would not shock me if she's running Xbox or PlayStation or something one day, but I mean, I think that's where it starts. It starts with that leadership at the top and understanding, all right, what made this game good? And they're getting, like you said, they're getting back to basics. They're doing what people want. And I think that's also part of the problem in this industry overall. Listen to your audience, listen to what they want, and make the games that they actually are willing to pay for and want to play. So yeah, I do think these changes are going to be huge for it. I do think they're going to have a sustainable audience as a result. So it's good for, and look, my daughter, that's all she plays. That and Marvel Rivals, Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. So she's super excited about this. Yeah. So that type of person, they're loving this, and they're going to stick around. They're going to keep playing.
And it's funny you mentioned actually Marvel Rivals. I'm glad you did, because that's the reason why Overwatch is so good now. Beauty of competition, Parris. It's they went back, looked at that shit, and said, okay. And they were obviously galvanized by that competition and the prospect and the reality of Rivals existing that kind of set them back to the drawing board. And look,
So you bring up a good point. Bring it back to what you were saying about the PlayStation and not the competition and playing it safe. See, that's where I think the new competition is going to have to happen. It's not going to be about, I got to get this hardware and exclusivity. It's about the games themselves having to compete and fighting for your time. I think, this has been a conversation over the last couple of years. Time is the most precious commodity in this entire industry because there's so much shit that's fighting for your time. And it's not just in gaming. There's other stuff fighting for your time too, constantly. When you think about it, who said that? I think it was Matt Booty or something said TikTok and everybody got mad at him, but he was right. It's true.
It's true. I'm on Reels all the fucking time. Where do you think I get my memes from? It's just on Reels. Yeah, it's true. But people get pissed at him. But it's true. People are. But that doesn't discount the fact that platform level competition really did raise the tides of competition much more. That disappears. It takes away that platform level kind of galvanization of competition, but still doesn't change the underlying fact that ultimately on a game level, they are now. That's the scenario now. On a game level, games are competing. Like on PlayStation in Europe, the most I think they bought Forza more than PlayStation games last year or whatever it was. That's crazy. So the games are doing the talking, and Microsoft and that's where the competition is. People will cry about platform wars, this and that, but it exists. They're different platforms. Hardware is less of an issue now because 90% of what you saw on the state of PlayStation might be called state of PC, bro. They were all on PC. So that's it. What's up, Avi? So, and shout out to 170 of you. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the chat, especially the ponies, you pricks. Smash the like button. So what I was going to say was, you are seeing that game level competition. The conversation, even though there's, Microsoft still tentatively in the hardware space, is about games. Fable. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Like, it's all multi-plat now. The exclusivity question is finished, but now it's like, well, it's Microsoft, it's Xbox delivering, and that's the interesting part. When ABK happened, you said that you were. I celebrated it. I said, this is fucking crazy that they bought Blizzard. Activision Blizzard wasn't even on my radar. That Microsoft went ahead and bought them. But at the same time, when it came out, before it finished and as it finished, I said, I will be unrelenting in demanding they sort out Blizzard. I want to see results, not just legacy games on Game Pass. No, I want to see fucking results, because Blizzard, I want to see them fixed. I've fallen off World of Warcraft after not Lich King, maybe not. I think realistically after Blinding Crusade, and Blizzard have been a shell of their former self for a long time, and they've been cussed by hardcore fans for the longest time. And now we're finally starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel, because it isn't just Overwatch. They're now supposed to reveal the new Starcraft game. It's just a shooter. If that looks good and exists, existing is a big thing. Finally, they're doing something with Starcraft. Ghost got cancelled in the freaking Xbox OG gen, not even 360, I believe, and we've been living on memories of that. But if Starcraft exists and it looks good, and in my mind, I'm thinking like Space Marines 2 kind of thing, fucking amazing, man. That's the kind of shit I want to see. I want to see Blizzard getting fixed, and there seems to be a mandate now within Blizzard to sort this shit out. So I'm really happy about that, and we're going to find out this year. I think at BlizzCon is going to be the reveal.
Yeah, they're doing BlizzCon. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So seeing a StarCraft game, huge deal for me. I'm not a StarCraft head. I've watched their freaking CGI cutscenes. RTSs, especially with StarCraft, bro. I can't. I'll tell you what changed. I used to go. People say, "Oh, guys, you're a tourist." I used to fucking play Quake 3 on a pro level with the world champion. And in the same Cybercaf I was with the European champion of Command & Conquer Generals, Broski, and they used to play StarCraft, they used to play Warcraft, RTS. The divide in the skill between these guys and me, bro, I'm a retard compared to them. They're so fucking good. They will think 10 steps ahead. I can't even catch up. The way you see them moving their mouse and keyboard and just fucking cycling through scenes, assigning numbers and hotkeys to different units and squads, and they're just moving so fast. They're so good. I'm like, bro, there's no point in me even trying to play the genre. I love the genre, I respect the genre, but I'll just be like this slow moron just going, send the unit there, I'll play that. And I loved Red Alert 2. I loved Command & Conquer Generals. I loved it to death. But when I saw that guy play, I felt so insignificant. I was like, fuck this. Fuck this. I've never played this again. They're so good, man. Bruv, the Koreans, well, actually, that guy was Filipino and he won European champion. So, but it's Far East Asians, bruv. They're just smart. I work with it. They're just built different. But when it comes to RTS, it's on another level. So I've always wanted to like StarCraft, but it's that genre kind of put me off a little bit. Not because it's an inferior genre, it's just not something I'm good at. But a third-person game.
Yeah, same. I'm just not good at it. So yeah.
Yeah, man, bro, I can't wait for that. So I've been looking at Ghost, the aesthetic. I put it on my videos all the time. StarCraft, I have no anything about it. But when I watch the CGI cutscenes, Blizzard fucking make amazing cutscenes. So now I'm like, dude, that level of fidelity in a third-person game, I'm excited. I want to play I want to be in the world of StarCraft. Just like Warhammer looked good, but I'm like, this is fucking weird. There's all virgins in the Warhammer shops painting figurines. Just a bunch of sad cunts. Why am I fucking... I'm not going to... But the figures look good. But I'm an idiot. Because I didn't understand the lore of that game. Warhammer is fucking raw. It is badass. So Space Marine 2 was my introduction to this universe, and then I realized, oh my god, this game is called Grimdark, the genre that it's resides in. Everything is bad. Everyone is evil. There's no explanation. Oh, humanity good versus evil. Everyone's fucked. And that's but who cares? Now deal with the madness. Such a good, and that's a kind of feeling I hope StarCraft has. The universe looks amazing, but you guys in chat will know better than me just how much value there is in the StarCraft universe. So that's another thing. So we're seeing the the rise of Blizzard. That's what I'll call the timestamp. The rise of Blizzard. So that's good. What else happened? Apart from Arc Raiders hitting 40 million units, that was mad. We talked about the Highguard getting tanked. Microsoft is reportedly exploring a merger of Game Pass tiers. Fuck, I don't give a shit about Game Pass anymore, bro. I think I resubbed to play something. I'm so terrible, bro. I calculated. I'm so bad with my money. Guess how much I spend on subscriptions a month? Just guess. In dollars, it's fine. Callous spending.
200.
500.
Oh my god.
500 a month. Don't even ask me why. I've got an Excel spreadsheet. I can tell you what it's on. 500 a month on fucking subscriptions. Mental. Man, I don't even use that shit. I'm terrible. Mental. I'm terrible. So yeah, but I might have Game Pass. I don't even know anymore. I boycotted it because of the political stuff. Then they kind of did a U-turn with the studios, and then I saw Arcane Leon and them lot fighting back, and then they did a U-turn, and I'm like, all right, it's still the same shitty company. I can't even fucking fight. There's an inequality of bargaining power here. Everything that we use, my tax, I pay so much in tax. That's going to freaking... What can we do, bruv? And then you know, man, you're American. Your fucking country is also in this fucking mess, bro. So is the UK. So everywhere.
Yeah, it's chaos.
How you can't even escape it. You can't escape the madness, man.
No.
It's just... That's why we kind of go into gaming. And even gaming is... It is what it is. There's bare topics I used to have, but I've kind of gone through them. Oh yeah, Microsoft's next gen is so this comes from Idle Slot. Shout out to him, really nice guy. I hope to meet him soon. But their next gen, they're talking about
good guy.
Yeah, have you met him, right? Quite tall guy as well. Is he taller than you?
Yeah, that was my first element. Hey, goddamn.
yeah, I've seen him. I'm gonna look like a hobbit standing next to him. I'm starting to look like a hobbit standing next to you. So fucking hell, that's gonna be terrible. But you know, I wanted to ask you about this. The next gen Xbox. I know Xbox has you know, whatever hardware now. Hardware is like a side thing for them. They're still committed to hardware, but their next console is really, I mean, Xbox has found their audience, main audience. I'll be honest, and this is going to be very, very painful for a lot of Xbox fans to hear. I keep saying it and they get really pissed off with me, but their main audience is like PlayStation. They're buying games. There's so many. It's 90 million PS5s out of the wild. They're getting massive spending power. They're buying Xbox games whilst crying and laughing at Xbox games in the background on the social media. But Xbox is in this place where they're still committed to hardware, when people thought they'll walk out. But the next Xbox, and I saw Digital Foundry talk about this, and they were like, they were talking about Tim Dog. They're like, oh, they lost Tim Dog. The freaking, he's so infamous that even your buddy Tim Dog was mentioned at Digital Foundry.
I saw that. Man.
Tim, bless his heart. You know what? I feel like when you meet him, he'll be like, I'm sorry. You know what? I know exactly what you were saying. Parris, I'm sorry, man. felt a certain way. And you know what? You'll be like, Tim, just gotta chill. And that's how it's gonna be like, yeah. That's like Tim is like. He's like that.
Look, I have to say though, I'll never forget, I got this DM from someone going, yo, Tim Dog made a video about you. And I go, what? And I click on it. And I was like, is this AI? I thought it was AI. I was like, this can't be real. It's not real. And he had his Godfather music in the background. And I was like, oh my God, he has lost his freaking mind. And to your point, I get he got mad at me because he took a joke and thought it was more than what it was, and it was honestly harmless because it was.
It's very sensitive.
It was kind of because it's like you talk shit and you joke. It's the same thing. Whereas, bro, we're saying it out of love. It's not out of we hate you or despise you or anything like that. And honestly, all I was like, well, don't do that. That'd be a terrible idea. It'd be a terrible idea to put me to the head of Xbox. That's all I was saying. Anyways, to your point, he obviously got very sensitive. Made the videos. Some of the funny shit I've seen in a very long time. I did have to laugh because I didn't believe it. I was like, this can't be real. This is not real. And just on that subject real quick, I'm just say this, and I know he's American Tim Dog now and political and all this stuff, but he wasn't wrong in anything that he said. And I guess that's was my whole thing was, it was like, I never didn't believe him because I know he talks to a lot of people at Xbox, right? It was how he handled it, whereas I think was the issue.
That's definitely the issue.
Whereas that was the problem with him. He melted down over it. Never tie yourself to any brand to that level to where you're gonna have a meltdown, because think about it. It's really as simple because now they're gonna sell games on another platform. That's really why you melted down. I don't care that Gears of War or Halo. Look, and I know people give it the pitchforks and all that because I didn't believe that shit was going to happen. But when it did, like when I played Gears of War Reloaded on PlayStation 5, I go, okay. All right. It'll be the same thing with Halo. Okay. It's there. What are you going to do? You just choose where you want to play. Ultimately, is all they're doing. But anyways, I know that was a tangent off, but yeah, that was something.
Bro. You respect the passion. He's a very passionate guy. He's extremely sensitive. He blocked me because he sold his account to someone. I thought it was like a porn site, and I blocked it. And then he blocked me back when he came back as American Tim Dog. I'm like, bro, block me now. I didn't know you're gonna come back. Who do you sell the account to? You can't expect me to not block you after the DMs and shit you might have leaked. I don't know what we were talking about, some wild shit. But bless him. But the new Xbox is bless Tim Dog. But the new Xbox exists, and it's gonna be this. It's not gonna be a seller. Like it's gonna be a premium brand. Mm-hmm. Now that you've forsaken exclusivity, we in the core gaming space, we love our hardware. Look, Digital Foundry exists and is so popular for that reason, because of core gamers like us who want and that's why we spend, God knows how much on a gaming PC. But when it comes to consoles, Xbox is going to have a bit of hardware that will natively play Xbox games. So it has a justifiable hybrid moniker, because it is a hybrid, unless they're going to, I don't know how they're going to do that. How they're going to natively play old Xbox games and design it as like a PC, unless emulation comes into play that will then be available for PC as well. It's going to be like that.
Well, it's what I think is happening is this AMD chip, the custom chip they're getting from AMD for this next gen thing, is going to allow some form of emulation for the back catalog of games. So to what you're saying, like if you and I build a PC and it doesn't have that AMD chip in it, that SoC or whatever, then you're not going to have backwards compatibility. Obviously, you're going to play all the new stuff that's Play Anywhere and all that, but the old 360 games, Xbox One games, you're not going to be able to play those unless they also have a PC version, I guess, right? So that's what I think is happening. I'm actually very curious / excited for Jason Ronald doing that keynote at GDC in a couple weeks, because I'll be there for that, because that's, I think, is them starting the conversation with devs about what they're doing for this whole next gen strategy, because it's pretty clear that they're going to provide some hardware, but we're going to see some OEM products as well. Obviously, this cloud stuff that they're doing. Like, I think on any open platform, whether it's a PC, their own hardware, or whatever, but if it's an open platform, aka not a PlayStation or a Switch, that UI is going to be universal across. Like, it's going to be the same thing, cloud and all that. And that's where I think they're trying to get to. Clearly, Play Anywhere is the new, like you said, Game Pass still exists. The price increase has lessened the enthusiasm towards Game Pass, but it's still there. But really, it's about Play Anywhere for them now, to where you just buy the game once and go play it on whatever open platform device you want to go play it on, is I think what they're trying to do. You know, the Rogue Ally, the handheld, I think is essentially an alpha for where they're trying to get to.
They've said that much, haven't they? Sarah Bond kind of alluded to that.
Yeah, all intents and purposes, that's what they've said, because that's what it's going to be. You're going to have that Xbox app on a PC, cloud streaming, whatever it is, and it's going to be identical across the board. So, we'll see. But to your point, it ain't gonna be cheap.
It ain't gonna be cheap.
They're gonna provide one. Like, see, and that's where I'm curious with the OEM devices. Are there going to be different tiers of performance and price from third-party partners? So maybe theirs is $1,200, but maybe, I don't know, Lenovo offers something that is $700-800, but it's not as powerful. I don't know.
I think that's exactly what
I guess that's what we're going to see.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Shout out to Face23 Brooklyn. Thank you for the $20 super chat. He goes, Parris, do you think Sony will do day and date with all their games day one on PC before the PS6 drops?
No, I don't. I think live service multiplayer games, because they got to make money. Those will. But I think their single player stuff, it's pretty clear they're going to continue doing this timed exclusivity with it. I don't see that. Like, I would imagine Ghost of Yotei is on PC later this year, right? Death Stranding 2 obviously is about to be on PC. Yep. Wolverine probably holiday 2027 is on PC. You know, they're going to stagger it out. I don't see them ever doing day and date, because you also have to remember this too. And Craig Duncan just talked about this, and I know I had actually talked to Matt Booty at Summer Game Fest last year. He pretty much said the same thing. The only thing that's stopping Xbox from putting a game day and date on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation all at once, time and resources of the studio.
Yeah, they're pretty much day and date now, with the exception of, I say, Forza Horizon, only because they haven't got the resources. Soon there will be everything. Yeah.
So with PlayStation, they're obviously using Nixxes to do all that. Nixxes only has so much time and resources, to port stuff, versus trying to get Insomniac or a Naughty Dog to do it themselves. They obviously give it over to Nixxes to do. So I don't see them changing that going into the PlayStation 6. I think, look, they're making money doing it. So I think if they're happy with the revenue they're getting, they'll just keep it the same.
I think so. I think it would be stupid for them to do. I think the PS6, I feel like at least they're with the Xbox now out of the picture in terms of like that threat is gone on a hardware level. Even if it was like a lukewarm threat because of ineffectiveness of the Xbox One generation, blah blah blah, there was still a looming threat. That with that out of the way, the PS6 is now probably their best bet to really capitalize on hardware sales for a console. After that, I would say maybe 2-3 years into the PS6, then the exclusivity thing really starts to dwindle, and only then can you perhaps expect Sony to completely drop the day and date on PC. But the gap's getting shorter anyway. These games are coming to PC. Most of the games are PC, and 90% of games we saw on the State of Play are all on PC, even though they're partnered on PC. They're partnered with Ember Lab, and people are treating it like a first-party title, but that's coming out on PC day one. So that it wouldn't really harm them, but you'd be stupid if you were Sony to do it just now, because PC sales have been decent. They made like 2 billion apparently out of PC releases, which is not a small number. People are like, oh yeah, 2 billion compared to the other 30 billion. I'm like, it's still 2 billion, bruv.
And you know what that 2 billion does? And Shuhei said this when he was Greg had interviewed him like a year ago or so, right? Basically, putting those games on PC is like printing money, and then they take that money and that finances the next project. Yep. So you got to look at it that way. So they're not going to stop. Why would they? It wouldn't make sense for them to stop.
What's the incentive? But chat, tell me, what's the incentive of Xbox, PlayStation drop? I mean, they gave you no indication of the state of play. That
I'll tell you what. I'm not saying the chat's thinking this, but I'll tell you what some people on social media think. The incentive is their feelings. Gotta protect their feelings.
Bro, they're so they are laser focused on PC. They hate everything PC. Just buy a PC. Just buy a PlayStation. Just buy a play. You just see these idiots go, just buy a PlayStation. Why? So I can join a community of freaking brain dead retail online. So just galvanize behind this piece of hardware that you can buy at Toys R Us. Safe.
But you know what? You know what? This is along those lines, really quick. Kind of going back to something we set up at the top. That's something I'm very thankful, fortunate, and lucky that I've been able to do a lot of the stuff that I've been able to do in gaming and essentially travel the world and just meet all these different people around the world. Social media is so full of shit.
Yeah, it's true.
People don't act like this in person. I was just at Gamescom last year. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people coming up to me, talking, taking pictures, all this stuff. And it's, no one's mad about if you got a goddamn Xbox or a PlayStation. No one gives a shit. They're just excited for the games. Yeah. I've yet to ever have someone in real life come up to me and say some of the crazy, silly shit that you see on social media about this stuff. It doesn't happen.
You haven't met Matt Booty? Sorry, not Matt Booty. What's that guy's name who left Blizzard? The guy, that's what M. Mike Ybarra.
Oh, Mike Ybarra,
yeah. He cares about that shit on social media.
You know what's funny? I was supposed to interview him.
Yeah.
That right before he left, we were trying to do this thing. I was going to go to Blizzard. We were going to do it in person. I was going to interview him. I was like, oh, cool. And then I remember they were like, yeah, we need to delay it. And then he was gone. I was like, oh, okay.
I feel, so I'm hearing he's always been, people don't like him at Xbox. He's been a bit of a character at Xbox. But you know the real story. I know you. He ain't saying shit. Okay, one day I'll find out what it was. But a lot of people tell me that Mike Ybarra was a dickhead to them, or seen as a dickhead. I'm not saying
here's what I will say. Here's what I will say about him. A person in the position that he's been in the industry, and what is he at Prize Picks now or whatever he's doing now?
Yeah.
Why are you diving in the mud of social media and just? You should be way above that, I guess, is the point that I'm trying to make. I'm surprised at some of the comments that I see that he has.
Yeah,
look, some of the stuff that he says I don't necessarily disagree with, but it's how he presents some of it, and then he gets very sarcastic and petty.
Yeah, he does.
People, right?
It's like another Tim Dog.
I'm like, okay, yeah.
Oh man, well, that's Mike Ybarra for you. I was just talking about this Xbox, this premium device. I guess we'll see. I'm actually intrigued. Of all the hardware devices, it is the Xbox device that's the most interesting. The PS6 is going to be PS5 on crack, so it's going to be like, all right, but the Xbox is presumably the most powerful one. That's one, and it's doing something different. So I'm interested. Whether I'll buy it or not is a different question entirely. I've got PC now, which does everything. So the console hardware has less of an interest, but I always end up buying everything day one, including the PS6 I'll buy. The only thing...
that's kind of... Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but see, that's kind of my thing of, I probably won't need it, but I can see me getting it, just like I'll get the Steam machine, because I can have it in the living room under my television. I think that's the appeal, but obviously my gaming PC is, I'm gonna have all the bells and whistles and do all that kind of stuff. So it's almost just a convenience thing of wanting to do it. And, we're obviously the enthusiasts, everybody here, watching and listening to this. So you're not gonna need the next Xbox, but there's gonna be an audience that's gonna go pick it up regardless. I think.
Yeah, definitely. The hardcore will appreciate. You know what? In a way, I think it's funny how Xbox is. And I'm actually working on a video on this, and the general feeling of the hardware segment of my video that I'm writing is about the identity of Xbox. It started off this hardcore box and more for enthusiasts, and now for the longest time, Xbox is finally getting to where the fans have wanted it to for the longest time, and that's getting their good games right and the consistency. They are they've got so many studios under their belt is ridiculous. And now the quality mark is looking serious. When Forza Horizon and Fable are dropping in the same year, and the quality mark of them is expected to be very high. The last Forza was in 93 or whatever meta. This is now in Forza in Japan. You're starting to see stuff in I saw you shared the Japan map level, the locales.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I'm still not so sure about the. I mean, I was expecting not a generational leap. I'd love a game was cross-gen, but I wanted something better. It still looks good, but is it? I feel like there's a level of continuity from the last game that I just felt like I wanted more. But I need to go hands-on with it, especially on my PC, to see what that's like. I'll find out. But that's going to be an incredible game anyway, I'm sure. Perfect Dark's going to be incredible. Then you've got this whole Blizzard sorting the shit out.
Perfect Dark.
Bro, I keep mentioning Perfect Dark when I keep trying to say freaking... I did this last show. Do you know how much it hurts me? How much Perfect Dark was the one? It killed me, man. Perfect. I keep doing it. Fable, sorry. Fable's going to be fucking... I think it's going to be good. Peter Molyneux talked about it this week.
What do you think about Gears?
And that's what's going to go on to next. That's the big one.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen that. And I assume, and I'll be very disappointed if we don't see it, the summer show. What do you call it? Game Fest? What is it called now? Xbox's summer showcase? I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Something like... It'll be the Dev Direct after.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
It has to be. They have to show it.
Yeah.
And that Gears of War, like, they've done everything on paper. They're saying that I said Gears should do. So... And I might actually work on a video and use AI to kind of build like some scenes out of what I think Gears of War needs to do, or I imagine what they will do. But the Gears E-Day with UE5, and I know, but still talk about AI. People are like, oh, AI slop. I think you fucking idiot. What do you want me to do? Build concept art from scratch for a YouTube video that will get, what, 3,000 views? Are you fucking stupid? Of course, I love AI. I love the stuff. I understand the arguments all the way through. One of the reasons why my subscription costs so high is because of the AI subscriptions. and like, fuck your RAM prices. This is tech. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. And when I use it in my Starfield video, people really liked it. I'm like, oh yeah, I built a scene. We'll talk about Starfield just in a sec before we go. But I built a scene where, you know, someone was using like the cutting through the ship to do the seamless boarding into a ship, and I could use AI to. It literally made it look like Starfield. It was amazing. I just uploaded some screenshots of my gameplay, and it just fucking did it. And I'm gonna do the same thing with my Gears of War video, which I eventually will go out to. No RAM. But Gears E-Day, man, on UE5, which I love. I'm sorry, you can cry about it all you want, but I love UE5 and what it's done to the industry and how it's enabled indies and AA's to do stuff that looks amazing and made it accessible. And it's the solution, not the perfect solution, but is a solution to all the industry bloat, the pricing, that, you know, the dev costs to equalize that. Okay, but Gears E-Day, bro, I expect nothing but greatness. Visually, it needs to look fucking amazing. It needs to be bloody. It needs to be violent. It needs to be up close and personal. Multiplayer still somehow has to be 60 frames though. On PC, I'm sure it's okay, but even on console, it cannot be 30. If it is, it's a fucking joke. They'll strip it down, as they always do.
They'll downgrade the visuals to hit 60. It'll be 60 on there, I'm sure.
Yeah, they always do. But bro, that game is the one to watch out for. That's the one I really want to see this summer. I want to see that from Xbox, because bro, just that one game, I say one game, that fills out the whole palette. That's what I'm glad you mentioned that, because that kind of fills out the whole picture of Xbox's first party stable when it comes to their software. You've got Fable that might smash it, and it'll be the non-Forza game that might potentially hit 90 plus meta, which is going to be a big signal for Xbox's quality mark that's been missing for a while. So that's going to be good, and it looks great, and it's built by their own bespoke engine as well. So there's a level of prestige there. Forza Tech engine, and it's coming from Playground Games. Then you got Forza Horizon. Then you get Gears, a third-person action game looking fucking great from Coalition that have sat out the entire gen. It's gonna send shockwaves if it looks good, and it's E-Day. The story's gonna be great. Dom is back. amazing. Marcus and Dom going in it. That could be the source, man. That could be the source.
So, let me pause you real quick. Did you play Gears Hivebusters?
Yes, I did. I wasn't that much of a fan of it, I'll be honest.
Oh, you didn't? See, I thought I actually liked the gameplay loop in that because I'm assuming we're going to get more of that. And we'll obviously see because they haven't shown it yet. But I'm assuming we're going to get more of that.
Nah,
you didn't like it?
No, bro, look, Gears Eater, what they've said about what the game is going to be, it's going to be a lot more... Hivebusters was not survival horror. It wasn't like Gears 1.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking the gunplay, the cover system.
No. All that has to change.
They were doing it.
No.
You think interesting. Okay. I'm listening.
So this is where, before Gears E-Day was announced, every time Gears came up as a topic, I kept talking about on Game On Daily what Gears needed to do. And then Cliff Brzezinski himself said the same fucking thing after the fact. And I was like, there you go. What they need to do, because Gears of War became Fast and Furious, man. Then you were in giant mechs. All the locusts were like freaking bubble wrap. There were like so many of them. You just mowing them down. It became like the latest Rambo movie. It became a joke. The locusts weren't scary anymore. They were just cannon fodder. The level design was so rote. Every time you entered into a play space, you already knew what the battle area was looking like. Oh, that's the beam there. I'm going to hide against. There's a conveniently placed freaking horizontal freaking pillar there. I want to take cover there. Everything became expected. And it became a little bit too routine. And it just lost its vision. What I expect, what I want, and this I guess I'll make a video on it, is I want a level 1 dynamism in the combat scenario. So when I'm stuck behind a wall, I want to see bits of that wall flying off. I can't just stay in that cover and it's going to be sick. You see in Gears E-Day, it's just a basic locust bitch beats the shit out of Marcus. It's not a fucking, what's it called, those big ones, I forgot the name of them, that you need the Hammer of Dawn to kill. It's just a normal locust, and that's how it should be, because these are ugly looking freaking weird fucks, and they just come out of nowhere from a sinkhole on the ground, and you want to be up close and personal. Really, that kind of stuff will enhance the if your visuals are on point, you start to see bits of armor breaking and blood just popping out and slowing down the gameplay. So it's, if you play the Hivebusters, active reload, shoot, and it's just like blah, 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 and it's just, even your character is just taking bullets, just sponging it, and there's no impact. It lost the weight since Gears 1. That's what Gears lost. It lost the weight of the proceedings. Slow it down, make it bloody, up close and personal. Even have maybe 3-4 enemies, maybe 5 max, and all in the later levels. But make that the stakes high. That kind of shit will be. It'll be equivalent to what Gears God of War did in 2018 by switching it up.
I actually think we're in a lot of agreement on what you're saying, because I've said for a long time they lost their way with the survival. It was like sci-fi survival horror.
Yeah.
Is what, like, it was funny. I found a tweet that I had put out like 3 years ago where I was literally complaining about this, but we've always wanted Emergence Day. So we're going back to that, and that it should be scary as shit.
Yeah.
These things are coming up out of the ground, out of nowhere. They're not, the cog isn't prepared for this. It's like, it should literally be, they're fighting for their survival in this. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was an E3 before Gears 4 came out, when they first revealed Gears 4, and it was Rod Ferguson and all that. And the tease made it seem like it was a horror game. I was like, oh shit,
yeah.
Gears, this is gonna be horror. And then it was none of that at all.
They had the tornado, the weather effects, all that. They're walking through that castle bit. Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. It needs to be gritty, in your face, all that. I think what I'm just saying with Hivebusters is, I just thought the moment to moment action felt good for me, but I'm with you. Slow it down. Put it more. You don't have all the fancy weapons that you had in the later Gears, right?
That's a big one. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll obviously see what they show in June with it. But yeah, I have very high expectations for it, because I do think it needs a hit. And it's funny. I'll just say this and give it back to you. I put out, like, I think it was Clobril or something, had made some little art thing kind of showing essentially what Xbox had coming in 2026. And I said at the time, I go, if they deliver all of these things on time, at quality, this arguably could be the biggest first party lineup they've had in their 25-year history. And people were like, oh, you're crazy. Bro, Forza Horizon 6, we already know it's going to be big. We've already seen it. We know, like you said, Fable to me, and I know people try to criticize whatever, but looks good to me. if Gears E-Day lands, and then, you know, obviously we'll see Halo, whatever that does. And there might be more, you know, her whispers that there might be more than just that, which is insane to me, but we'll see, you know what I mean? But, of
course it will be the biggest year. Say they're all hit. I mean, I still find it crazy that Gears of War would even come out 2026. I didn't even put it in my 2026 video.
20-year anniversary. So that's why I think. I've always thought that because it's 20-year anniversary. Yeah.
Crazy if it does. But if it does.
Let me ask you this. And people was giving me shit for this. Like, I've thought just in my head for a while. I go, that Halo game's going to be in August. Yeah. Summer.
Probably.
Fable seems like it's September, right? Gears is probably October. And I've amended it a little bit, but I think Call of Duty is probably last week of October, first week of November, up in there somewhere. People think I'm fucking crazy. They're not going to put out Call of Duty against Grand Theft Auto 6. I go, if there is any IP that you can release within a couple week period of Grand Theft Auto 6, it's goddamn Call of Duty. I don't understand why, excuse me. And I think Grand Theft Auto 6 obviously is transcendent. It's going to arguably be the biggest, highest selling game in history. I get all that. But it's Call of Duty. And if this is a good Call of Duty, they're treating Grand Theft Auto like it's the boogeyman, I think. And I don't think
it is.
So no game is going to come out in November. I guess that's the argument I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, but there's still going to be something. Call of Duty. It would be shocking if Call of Duty didn't come out. And Call of Duty, you're right, is a game that they just release. If it's a good one, then it will do fine. It may have a massive hit in sales, maybe a big dent because it's in the window of GTA 6 because that's how big it is going to be. But it will still eventually just end up just soaring. You don't stop COD. So
because you play for the multiplayer.
Exactly. And people will do that. It's routine for them. So what's crazy? What you suggested, Halo. We know the remake is coming August, potentially even a freaking shadow drop. I don't even know, but it's
could be.
Yeah, August. So what? The Gears coming out. It's Gears, Halo remake. Fuck the remake, but Gears, Fable, Forza, and then COD and then Halo. You put it all together. That's 25th anniversary. Like, yo. And if Gears, say argument's sake, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but Gears hits a 90 plus, Fable hits a 90 plus, and Forza, Xbox has never done that in God knows when, or if ever. So then Xbox, and I know Xbox and the rumblings from some sources, and studios who work, the guys who work the mandate, the people at the studios at Xbox feel it. They are aware of it, and the leaders speak to them about it. Since last year, they have felt the negative pinch of the Xbox fans receding away from the brand because of the combination of the Game Pass price hike and a lot of goodwill lost in Xbox, and generally as a band, the perception that people are migrated. But there's a feeling now that they have to go hard. And there were active conversations about what they need to reveal and when. I don't know how this happens, but apparently the Elder Scrolls is ready to show. And I don't know how that. I don't know how. It sounds so crazy to me. I don't believe it. But Elder Scrolls. I
don't believe either.
Yeah,
I've heard that whisper too, and I'm like, man, I don't believe that. But they keep teasing this 6 shit, so there's something.
The new Elder Scrolls, and I'm like, really? I still don't believe it. And my source is legit. He's just saying, look, that's what they're saying. But what that means is the 25th anniversary, even on paper, looks great. That means even if it doesn't pan out, they'll go hard on the reveal this summer. That's what I've been told. There was even talks about what to show at the Dev Direct, but the showcase, the summer showcase, it should be a big one. It should be a big one for Xbox, at least in presentation, at least in whatever. So and if Xbox does that and Xbox smashes it and it shows these games, it's gonna make a splash. It's gonna ratify Xbox, and Xbox is gonna use that to springboard their announcement of the hardware, which I'm sure is gonna be revealed this year, unless they delayed it because of RAM, which is a big possibility.
I think it's the 25th anniversary. They're gonna reveal it. You'll see it there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was coming out this year. Regardless, I think it was always holiday 2027. The RAM thing potentially. Not only just the RAM thing, but if they can't get the Windows and everything they're doing with the Xbox UI right, I don't think you release it. I could see it being delayed as a result to maybe spring 2028 because of that. But yeah, they'll show it this year. We'll see it. We'll know what it is. And then I'm imagining they do something similar to what they did with Project Scorpio, where you have like Todd Howard and these other devs talk about all the amazing things they're going to be able to do with Project Magnus or whatever the hell it's called, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll see. Ironically enough, Jez has said that that's not even the internal project name.
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an internal project now. I don't know what the fuck it is. Both me and you should be at GDC this year. We can pick Jason Ronald's brain and pester him.
I'll be right there in the front row.
Yeah.
Tell me everything. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Like, after all the dust has settled, you know, with all these different entrants, you pushed out a good tweet with your video talking about how, and I really do appreciate this position now. Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, they're all doing different things. They do their own thing.
They are.
And you want that.
And that's how you have to look at it. That, look, I get it. Xbox pulled a rug from everybody, and you're like, wait, what? Like, I still don't agree that they did it in the middle of a generation. If they would have said, all right, as we go into the next generation, we just putting shit everywhere. Now you get to make an informed choice, because I guarantee you there are people that would not have bought a Series X in 2020 if they knew this.
Oh, 100%.
They would have bought a PlayStation.
Absolutely.
So that's where I give them a lot of grief on that. But it's happened now. I think people have had enough time to understand it, adjust to it. It's the new reality. And when you look at it that way, if you don't like what Xbox is doing, they've just created more access points. If you want to play Forza or Gears, go get a PlayStation then. Go get a PC. Stream it on the cloud. They're telling you they don't care how you access their games. Just play our games, buy our games, subscribe, or whatever the hell, right? That's what they're doing. Nintendo's the one that said, oh no, you're buying a Switch. You're buying a Switch if you want to play Mario. Because even PlayStation has said, and I said all this in the video, but even PlayStation's essentially told you, if you're patient and you wait, you can go play Ghost of Yotei on PC or Spider-Man or whatever the hell. We're not going to stop you. We'll let you cloud stream, right? We're putting our live service games on Xbox. We're fine. You get to choose.
Bro, so, the exact literal words were, wherever there is computing, gamers will be able to play their favorite games seamlessly. That's Xbox's almost motto, but that's Sony's exec. They're just biding time until they do it.
Look, I know that doesn't fit into the console war narrative, but it's just the reality of where we are now.
It is.
So
it's not a reality I like, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Play wherever you want. Like I say, I'm thankful I own them all, so it doesn't matter to me. I play whatever, whenever. But if I could only, I'll say this, and I'm sure y'all clip this shit. If I could only buy one device, like that's all I can afford, I could only afford one thing. In 2026, you probably are buying a PlayStation.
Not including PC?
I'm thinking PC is super only. Expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking on the console side. But yeah. To your point, get a PC.
Yeah.
You're getting 90% of everything with a PC. Might as well get a PC. But I'm saying of a console. If I can only afford one console, I'm probably getting a PlayStation, because Xbox has told me those games will be there.
100%. I'll do the same. Yeah. If it's just console, of course I'll buy PlayStation. Xbox treats its own console as third-class citizens. I'm not fucking buying the console to be a victim. I'm buying the PlayStation and the Pro. Yeah. Well, affordability or whatever. If you say the price, there's a price. But yeah, of course, it's PlayStation. But
even with that said, there's people, and you know, I listen to some other shows and stuff. People talking about this. People are going to buy it. There's people that love Xbox and the services and everything that Xbox does. They're going to go buy an Xbox because that's what they like. Damn what other people think, and that's fine.
But
it's like, do what you want.
Next gen, if you're going to say which hardware you're going to buy, although the price, forget the affordability thing.
It's the price. Yeah.
But if they said, hey, PS6, the next Xbox, and well, the Switch 2 is already out, which one are you going to buy? I'm obviously going to buy the Xbox. It's because it's the PC and it's a hybrid device. And I'm playing most of your PlayStation games on there. Then it switches on its head, bruv. If you don't want to admit it, obviously buy an Xbox. At that point, you guys say, it's not really an Xbox. Whatever fucking definitions you want to apply. The next Xbox console is going to play PlayStation games. Most of them are on PC, yeah? So shut the fuck up and buy the Xbox. 100%. but the price, and then there'll be the goalpost will change the price, this, that, bollocks. Nah. Then on paper, of course, Xbox is going to be more viable. It's going to run Steam. It's going to have Epic Game Launcher apparently as well. And they're talking about it already. And it's basically a PC. I'm on PC all the way. Of course, it's the next Xbox. Why would I buy a PS6 instead of that? If it was only one choice. So it's funny, isn't it? It's a weird one. And that transition is kind of almost like leaving us where the studio was, the industry was inevitably going to end up. Actually, in a way, a lot of people have been talking about the end of that kind of stuff, which obviously I'm not a fan of, but it's weird. DJ Marshman says the youth and casuals won't be able to afford it. Series X dev mode has already. Well, I mean, affordability, absolutely. It's going to be a niche market.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It's going to be like the Alienware of console gaming, perhaps. If that's the only similarity I can draw to. But premium grade, all you guys who argue about consoles, you know for a fact you want a premium-based console. Nibs, you know for a fact you want it. J-Dub, you won't even admit it, but I know for a fact you want that shit day one. King Thrash, of course you would, but you will never admit it. Of course you want a premium grade bit of hardware, but it doesn't have dedicated. It's not a console. Oh fuck! I know the reality, man. I know the truth. You want that shit. But that's where we are. Games are going to be doing the talking. Summer Game Fest, we're going to see it. State of Mid was okay, and Parris Lilly endorses that.
I did not.
Yo, man, it was such a good chat, man. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? What else is there? Like, we covered everything. It's quite a decent.
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Obviously, I know you and I had been talking for the past few weeks, trying to figure this out, just schedules and everything. It had been crazy, but no, I'm glad we got a chance to talk, and I'm trying to be careful what I say.
Say it, man. There's no filter. Go on.
No. It's just a thing of, I hope moving forward, a lot of and it won't happen. I guess that's why I'm trying to be careful what I'm saying. But I wish there was a world where a lot of the arguing over gaming and this platform, that platform, I just wish that shit would go away. Because
ain't going away.
Because everything that we just talked about, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I'll end on this. Arc Raiders. I need to play more. I really love the game. I enjoy the game. It's fantastic. You're a fucking maniac. I just want to say that to you directly. And I know people give you grief for being the villain that you are in there. Like, oh no, but I get it. It's a part of the gameplay loop of it, right? Trust me, when I do play, my head's on the friggin' square. I don't trust nobody. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? I love it. So I get it. I get it. You're really just playing into that role, and I get that rubs some people the wrong way, but the game is designed for people to be able to do that. That's a part of the gameplay loop, and that's where I hope we see some of that in Marathon as well, especially since they're gonna have that solo queue. Man, that's gonna be brutal.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't think about that. The solo queue, where you don't have that much gear, but you go into games where there are maybe trios and full squads. The solos might be like, hey, I'm friendly. And me and my group, we're just gonna freaking go apeshit on that guy.
That's what I was saying. Will not trust you at all.
I love being the bad guy in that game, and but this is where people can't. It's an extension of the discourse online. People can't separate the gaming element of it, or the discourse of it, with real life. Like, I had people that come on my show literally call me, you're a terrible human being, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there just wanking off to these comments. Like, keep going, man. Just fucking say, oh, I'm a piece of shit. Yes, you're a piece of shit human being. You'd be just like this in real life. I'm like, you know what's the funny thing is? I'll just end on this. The game is about loot. When I kill you and betray you, you lose stuff. And for me, and genuinely, it's actually a meta commentary on, you want to work together to get more things. And I think it's and it's an absolute meta commentary on how people are obsessed with things, even virtual things that they want to extract in a 20 to 30 minute game session, that they put so much value into it that they feel so slighted that I betrayed them. And that's apparently an indication of my personality in real life. When in real life, I'm a mug. When I go out of my way, I don't make when I'm out, it's arguments about who pays. I will pay for everyone. I don't like doing that. I'm the most generous person out there.
By the way, him and I almost got in a fight over that for real. In real life.
Oh yeah.
He's paying. I go, what the fuck are you doing? Let me say this to what you were saying, because I actually think this is a good point of separating online and gaming versus reality. Again, you and I met in person, broke bread. You know, you had your friends there, the whole thing. It was a great time. We had a great evening hanging out, and that's kind of the point. The real life. This is not real life, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, Gaz in person this is not Gaz in person. I'm just telling you this right now. Completely different person, you know, in real life. And people need to understand that like, again, playing a game like Arc Raiders and doing that stuff, it's whatever, man. It's like, okay, you're an asshole in the game. All right. Now I know you're an asshole. I'm shooting you on sight when I see you,
exactly.
Right? Kind of thing. And then that's just how I look at it personally. I don't take that stuff to heart. I don't think that defines you as a person, you know, in real life or anything like that. But some people take this stuff way too seriously, and I think that's how I look at it. Before I forget, because I saw someone say this in the chat, I did mean to bring this up. Crimson Desert, what do you think of it?
Bro, that's a very good point. It could either be an incredible Game of the Year contender we've never completely written off, or it's just going to be a fucking a literal jumble of disconcerting ideas that just shat out, and it's going to be a mess. It can't be a middle of the, it's actually a decent, no. It's either really amazing or just a bold but just fractured mess. That's what it's going to be.
I am actually genuinely excited to review this game for everything that you just said, because you look at it, I'm like, man, this looks really great, to the point where this seems too good to be true.
That's exactly it. Actually, really? Genuinely seems too good to be true. I don't know where it is. I just, you know, the thing is, on the one hand, the developers kept delaying it. It's been in development for ages. Every time they delay it, put a new feature, and they obviously saw Zelda and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they delayed it, added more features in there, and how does it all work together? Like, is this actually legit? So it feels scammy, but they've delayed it. They've not asked for more money. It's not like Star Citizen where they're getting Kickstarter funding. But is it going to be I don't know. I genuinely... When do you get access? Are you gonna have a review code for that game?
Yeah. I'm gonna review it.
Oh, and shit!
Because I haven't played the previews, none of that. Because every time I could have gone to a preview event, something's happened. I haven't gone, but I do know, like, because, you know, Will Powers has been doing the rounds as far as doing all the interview stuff. So I've known him forever. I mean, he's a genuine dude. He's not gonna try and trick people or whatever, right? So it's like, I'm here. Like, I watched the interview he did with Destin, and I'm like, okay, I know Will, I believe Will, but goddamn, this looks too good to be true. All right, I'm in. I want to play it. I want to play this, and just everything they keep showing for it, I'm like, all right, I got to play this because I can't believe it. My only thing, and Danny and I were talking about this last week, is they've yet to show the console versions. That's my only, okay, I need to see this running on a PS5 or an Xbox. They've only showed PC, which obviously they're going to show it looking great. But how does it run on a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox? I want to see that. So,
yeah, we'll see. I suspect it'll run like ass on consoles, but let's see. Because they're Korean developers, they'll prioritize PC more. Before we go, we got Trucknet with a $5 super chat. Sorry, I'm just reading it late. Because Destin's interview with Phil, he said that their games will show up in more places, but are going to compete with but they're going to compete with, you know, on hardware, power, and innovation. Phil.
Okay, I got issue with that super chat.
What? What's that?
Why I got to be with Destin? I asked him the goddamn question. I answered that question too.
Oh yeah, you did.
Hey, why? I said
no, it was funny
because he did all those interviews all at once, and we all put them out at the same time. I totally get it, but no, he's right. I mean, I asked that question to Phil, and Destin asked it too. Yeah, all right. You putting all these games everywhere. Why the hell am I buying an Xbox then? That was his answer.
I remember it was your interview. Like, you asked him straight up, not even coddled it. You basically said, well, why would I buy an Xbox? And that was his answer. And I want to see the proof of it. And thank you for that super chat, because that reminds us that he said that. And we need to put him to task on that, because the innovation, by default, actually, Xbox is innovating because they're doing something that hasn't been done before by virtue of having this hybrid console. So
open platform,
yeah. But they also admit that this is going to be a niche product. Sarah Bond has said that outwardly, like, this is going to be an expensive, well, I didn't say expensive, but a premium product. And you know what? I would do the same thing. Now, you've forsaken exclusivity. I want the best creme de la creme of hardware for the hardcore. That's the one. So let's see.
Essentially, it comes down to this. All right, if you're doing this, if you're making this boutique hardware, this premium hardware, all right, no compromises then.
Yeah.
I want this thing throwing heat. I want this thing to make me look at my gaming PC with a side eye. Like, really? I can do. Maybe I'm not playing on you then. Maybe I'm just gonna play on this. I want to have that conversation, but it's gonna come at a price, and that's just what people need to realize. It's not gonna be cheap. This thing will be $1,000+.
Absolutely. But it also forget the PC comparison, because obviously the PCs will cost $5,000, the equivalent ones. All the consoles can tap into a little bit more, but then it's also a hybrid. It needs to be massively upgraded over the PS6. It needs to be massively more performant, or observably more performant than the PS6. We cannot have a repeat of the Series X with its, meandering power differences, often where the PS5 was doing better in frame rate and things like that. No, it needs to be a marked jump up. Unless the PS6 is also very expensive. So.
And see, and I think the PlayStation 6, it ain't gonna be $500. It'll be more than that.
Yeah, of course.
But I think they will still keep it more competitive, because I think they're still trying to obviously sell this thing to the masses. I could see it being as much as $800, like $799 or something like that out the box. But to that point, if a PlayStation 6 is $799 and let's just say the next Xbox is $1299, I better see with my eyeballs that price difference.
Absolutely.
I better see the performance, the frames, all that, the ray tracing, all these things that they potentially could be doing. I better visually be able to see, yeah, this is worth me spending that amount of money on it, or people aren't going to go buy it.
Absolutely. It needs to. For that price tag, you need to justify it. And Xbox this time, I think, well, neither is Sony, but Xbox not going to take a hit on the price. They're going to sell this and make a profit, because they're taking fat hits on the Series X, like $100 per unit. That's insane.
Well, that's why they've been raising the price on the Series X and all that now, because you see, people need to listen to Phil. Phil has been telling us this stuff for the past few years. It wasn't last GDC. I think it was 2 GDCs ago. He goes, it's getting harder and harder to subsidize this hardware. He said it right then. I go, oh man.
Is that what he said? I don't remember that.
He said that. I want to say it was two years ago. I want to say it was 2024, but he did say it's getting harder to subsidize this hardware. Said it.
It's Microsoft's fault. The software was banging us on all cylinders, then they could subsidize it quite easily, but they didn't. But that's Phil's problem, or Xbox's problem, and their fault. And now they're not doing that. They're not subsidizing the hardware. So at the very performance level, it needs to be a marked difference over the PS6 if it's much more expensive and much more powerful on specs.
I agree.
So it'll be interesting. There is going to be an interesting landscape. All three, like you said, and check out your video, are doing everything very different, and that's what we want. We don't want the same shit, like barely distinguishable stuff. It's different. My Xbox is in the hardware space, but in the premium level, and that I want to see what they do. Nintendo is doing its own thing, and PlayStation is Kellogg's. And on that note,
see, look at this. See, look at the chat. See, talking shit again. It is hilarious to me. Yeah, Cyberpunk is 5 years old now. It's over 5 years ago. This is over 5 years ago.
Oh, they still bring up Cyberpunk?
And people, because he said, this guy says, when you book an Xbox flight pod, you can personalize the seats to be yellow. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about going back to that. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change a thing.
What did you do?
Well, you got to remember, I previewed it.
Okay.
And this was the pandemic, so it was all cloud streaming. I'd previewed it with CD Projekt Red, and then their launch event, I hosted it on Twitter. Yeah. It was over Twitter, right? So I am forever tied to that game and everything that subsequently happened at that launch. And to your point, obviously I didn't recommend the game, because of all those issues. So I get it, but it's always just funny. Oh, and then obviously me and Jason Schreier got into it. So that didn't help either.
Well, what'd you go to?
So it was something, they had announced they went gold. This was like in October of 2020. And then Jason Schreier either put out an article or was saying something about crunch. I had said to him, damn, I was like, damn, you can't at least just give him a day, to celebrate or something like that. And this is how petty, and Jason and I are cool now, so it's just not even a big deal. But he was so petty. He found where I had posted pictures of the chair, and I think they had sent me all this swag stuff where I had posted it. And he was like, "Oh, and look at you," and blah 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 blah. So people were coming at me, and they were pissed or whatever.
Shit. You got merged by the Volus. That's mad.
Yeah. But it's funny.
He's a petty guy. I know he is.
No, but him and I have actually talked. Again, we talk privately
because you beat the shit out of him. Remember the muscles?
No.
Yeah, no, bro, he's built like Joe Pesci. You're built like freaking Debo. There's a difference, man. No, but being serious though, no, him and I have talked. We're cool. Anytime I see him at an event, we always take a minute. Hey, how you doing? Kind of thing. How's his family doing? All that stuff. But it was just a moment in time. It was just funny. So as a result, I always get shit for the Cyberpunk chair. Because of that. Matter of fact, fuck. You did this, chat. There we go. Jason's right. Just take that, bro. The yellow chair is back.
Yeah.
Right at the end, bro. It actually looks really nice. It's a nice chair.
I sit. The Logitech chair is just more comfortable. That's why I was sitting there.
Oh shit,
bro. I'm never getting rid of this ever. I would keep it
of course you shouldn't.
Just because of that.
Just because of people talking shit about. I like. Funnily enough, your video and your branding still have cyberpunk elements in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I don't blame it. I love the style.
Which again, I don't. Because I was super. I'm a fan. I was a fan of it at the time because coming off The Witcher 3, obviously I was, and I had that viral video when they showed it off at E3 and all that stuff. That's why I was able to, essentially get access into with CD Projekt Red and be able to preview it and do all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that it launched the way that it did, but I don't shy away from that. That's why it was cool last year. I was in Poland. I was in Warsaw. So I went to the studio for the first time. I got the tour, got to see a bunch of people, talk, all that. And the funny thing is, this yellow chair is everywhere in the studio.
you were at home when you went there. You're like, holy shit. They got the yellow chairs everywhere. That's brilliant.
But and they're even in on the joke because at one point, I forget what it was, but the official Cyberpunk account, I know who runs it, but he was even like, yeah, the only thing we can give you is a yellow chair. Some shit he said online.
I love that, man. I love that. They seem like pretty chill people as well.
Oh yeah.
And Cyberpunk is not a game to be ashamed of repping now because Cyberpunk's one of the best games. Phantom Liberty, the come up for CD Projekt Red, how they fixed it, incredible title.
Yeah, it was a thing of the game should not have come out in the state that it did. It needed more time. And who knows ultimately what all the reasons were. I mean, I'm sure there was, shareholders and all that stuff why they probably put it out when they did. But when they actually buckled down and fixed the technical issues, because again, the game itself was fine. It was just a technical mess. It was just a buggy technical mess. Once they fixed that, it's been fine. And obviously Phantom Liberty was a really good expansion.
I mean, the game itself also they did falter, and I think they'll learn their lessons for the next one because 80% of the choices didn't matter, and I think that was a big problem. Whereas with the DLC, they rectified that, got the combat system and all of that to make it much better. And I think the next Cyberpunk game, based on the way this one went down, and I'm a fan of UE5. I just feel like, okay, there's much more allure to a bespoke engine, and you're a big studio. You can handle the cost of it. They're forsaking it. Never mind. Now they can direct their efforts because they're using UE5 to make something that looks fucking incredible, but also focus on some the shit that they got wrong. I think the next Cyberpunk game is gonna blow our minds.
And think of this: they created an entire new studio in Boston just for that game.
Bro,
I mean, Cyberpunk 2 is not, they're not doing it in Warsaw, they're doing it in Boston, and Warsaw is obviously focused on Witcher 4. So yeah, to your point, I mean, we're not going to see it anytime soon. 2030 if we're lucky, we'll get that game. But yeah, to your point, I think they got a lot of lessons learned from this, and I expect the next one to be even. See, that was the other cool thing for me, since we're just talking about it. When I went out to Warsaw, because I was actually out there for another event, it wasn't CD Projekt Red. I'm on the plane and I had a connecting flight in Munich in Germany, go up to Poland. Who's on the plane with me? Mike Pondsmith. And I was wearing the Cyberpunk jacket. He literally comes up to me and says something. So yeah, that was an awesome moment. Just randomly, I'm on the same plane with Mike Pondsmith and, going into Warsaw. So that was cool because he was at the studio for some other stuff they were doing that week I was there. So even when I went to the studio, I saw him again. But yeah, it's just cool, man. And that's what I mean. That's why I always say, trust me, I wouldn't change shit of anything. All the people love to give me grief about this, that, and the other. I would not change a goddamn thing. I have been so lucky, bro, over the past, we're 2026 now, I would say over the past 7 years of a lot of the cool shit that I've been able to do, the people I've been able to meet.
Present Xbox
like I said, around the
showcase.
world. Yeah. Hosting show, like all the stuff that I've been able to do. I wouldn't change anything.
Why would you? Because the internet people just get salty about it, so they're jealous about it.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's like it is what it is. And bro, if you were ever to change and adjust to things to match what people wanted, you'd just be in the toilet, just injecting yourself with heroin, and that's the only way they would be happy because they want to see you fail. So obviously, that's the way human nature is. Disgusting. People thrive off the misery of others without actually doing anything themselves. Like, if you haven't got anything to, really, what appreciable. Some of these trolls that talk, they can't even show their faces online, and they're so bold. I'm like, bro, you're scared to show your face, and you're talking about what? You can't even put your face to your opinions, bruv. And you live off other people's opinions. You can't even show your face. You haven't, your accolades, you're nothing. We don't know anything about you. You're just, by default, by doing that, you're just a fat mess. Just sat there in your own freaking ectoplasm. That's how I see you as.
Look, I'm a say him by name because I know it'll make his day. That James dude, right?
James
like,
dude? Jamie's act.
What's his?
Jamie's act, where is
it?
it? That fucking. He's probably some little kid in India, man. He's such a fucking weirdo.
Oh, of course. But that's my whole point. It's like, how miserable must your real life be that you sit on the internet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, everything Xbox bad. Oh, I'm gonna clip this person and take them out of context and say this and say that. No one's ever seen your face. No one knows anything about you other than because Elon screwed up and we could see locations that, you living out in freaking Laos or Cambodia or some goddamn where. It's the only thing we know.
And then all we know is that he literally just screams, "How can you redeem?" No, I don't know what you do. Who is this guy? He calls himself James. He's there in Cambodia or some shit. He just clips me. And all he talks about Xbox. And we can't see your face. And we know you're a mess in real life. We know you're a mess in real life. It's so funny, bruv. Those people just exist. You gotta go laugh.
But that goes back to the whole, when we were talking at the top. It's like, I know I'm public facing. I'm on camera damn near every week, right? Obviously, a lot of people know who I am. I mean, you obviously do your streaming. People see you. Like, like, I use my real name. I'm not a pretend name or whatever. You can look me up. You can see whatever, right? So it's like, I am who I am. You may not like the stuff that I say, but I don't pretend to be some character online, right? So judge me however you so choose. But, I'm not afraid to show you who I am. Look, my mouth might get a little more filthy, off camera. But
100%.
Other than that, and you obviously can vouch for this, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
It's not an act. It's not pretending to be anything. I'm not perfect. I say a lot of dumb shit a lot. And when I do, I own it and you keep it moving,
Yeah. I mean, look, we all is to urge to be human. And that's a standard. Mm-hmm. But the difference is we put our face to the name there and we can get engaged people. Like, we're lucky, and I'm grateful, man. If 138 people watching us is insane. Even after 3 hours, think about 138 people in a hallway, just in a fucking auditorium, bro. Yeah. It's mad. Like, bro, I just had my wedding a couple of weeks ago, and bro, that's a lot of people. Yeah, thank you, man. And it's just like, bro, who are you? You don't show your face. If you don't show your face, I don't rate you. I'm like, bro, at least let me see your face. I just want to see how high your BMI really is. But it is what it is. But you know what? All his personalities. Ultimately, respect to everyone that puts out their face and does it. And I know not every personality wants to get in, will get on. I have issues with a lot of people. You have issues with a lot of content creators. I've tried to squash those beefs, and that haven't happened as well. And I'm still. It always comes back to it because I really like BG, and I hate that you two fight. And that's and it's entirely your personal.
Let me say this. I'll say this. And you and I have obviously had this conversation offline, and you're gonna be surprised at what I have to say. I got no issue with the dude. He is who he is. Like, sometimes you just have to accept people for who they are. Will him and I ever be friends? Will I ever actively reach out to want to go talk to him? Absolutely not. But if I were to see him in person, am I like gonna go try and fight him or something? No. But you know, it's the internet, man. I mean, he said something I didn't like, or he did something I didn't like. I expressed I didn't like it, and he didn't care. All right, noted. Now you move on. Like I said, other than that one time on the show, I don't interact with him. I don't see anything he posts. I don't talk to him or whatever, and that's fine. You're not gonna get along with everybody. You know. You're just not. You're just not, and that's fine. So you keep it moving.
Wow,
I
progress.
try to surround.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, some progress.
Oh, shit. It went from grievous bodily harm to. It's okay.
no, it didn't bodily harm. No, but you just try to surround yourself with people, you know, that's going to uplift you and push you to be a better person, right? And like I said, I'm not perfect. I will make mistakes. I will continue to make mistakes, and I'm very thankful that I have people in my life that have no problem letting me know when I do. You know what I'm saying?
That's the people you need to surround yourself with.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. No, that's progress. BG, if you're hearing this, look. You don't need to get that life insurance policy, but you know, I'm glad, man. And you know, one day I actually think if you sat down together, maybe there's an opportunity for you guys to say, you know what, this fucking dumb. Yes,
no, but I guess that's the point I'm making. If that were to happen, I guarantee we wind up talking and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm looking at it, man. I'm not stressed over any of this stuff. I would say, honestly, the only person that I seem to keep having an issue with is goddamn Lono.
But he's out for himself. That's everyone knows it.
Yeah.
He's always out for himself. And I'm sorry, Lono, but you don't show anything that... The way you treat your viewers, the way you do push your membership goals,
it's awful.
The discourse, all of it just doesn't suggest that you're a person... I'm not saying a good person or bad person. I'm not the arbiter and decided that. We leave that to God. But just, yeah. If you genuinely want to get to know people and not think about how it will affect your channel or have that ulterior motive, then perhaps you can have a reach out. I know you've unblocked me, which is interesting. But then, yeah, let's see if you show that appreciable appetite.
No. He blocked. See, this is, again, let's just air the dirty laundry. You know, I go in his chat, say what I say. He has a meltdown.
Yeah.
Come on my channel. And then he blocks me. So how in the hell am I ever supposed to contact you then? you don't want to talk to me. You don't want to have that confrontation because you blocked me. Yeah. So it's public noise. It's let me perform for my chat, and maybe someone will give me a 10 bomb or whatever the hell he says. Right? That's all it is.
This is what it is.
It's all about give me money. Money.
It is. I don't rate that at all. I'm not in this space for money, bro. I'm here to make some memes and piss people off and have an when I come back in a few years and be like, Gaz, you made good content. It was funny. It was interesting. That's the only thing I'm in here for, to make stuff that be like, oh yeah, shit, that guy is fucking crazy. And yeah, chat, I did get married. I didn't want to make a big song and dance about it. I don't want to put the evil eye as well, people, until it happened. And a very special lady who is very patient with me. And she needs to be. And I could have asked for someone better. She's lovely. She's lovely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, honestly, hopefully, well, you guys can, when you go to these meets, you might come with us to America or wherever. You guys can meet up, and so it's, and the little Gazes, hopefully very soon. I want to have little ones. I literally want to have kids. I'm very what's it called? When you really want, what's it called? Grooming? No, what's it called? Grooming? That's the worst word. I know in Epstein's Island. What is it when you really want to, you just want to have kids a lot? I just want to. I mean, I never thought that I would be at this stage where I'd be like, oh, I want to have kids. I'm like, oh, but I want to have kids.
Let me tell you, it will change your life. Excuse me, will change your life for the better. Having kids, it just does. You know, it's amazing how you'll have one mindset before you have kids, and then you're a completely different person after you have kids. Yeah. You know, because it's all about them. It's all about making sure they're taken care of.
Rudy.
That they have a better life than you did.
Yeah.
That's your job as a parent, man.
Yeah, no, I understand that completely. That's a game changer. Broody chat, not groomy. Fucking, that's the worst word it could be. With all the shit that's going down. Broody, I'm very broody. Like we had Valentine's dinner, and then there was a little kid there. We were like, oh my god! And it's like, oh, I wish there was a little gas. I could teach him how PlayStation sucks at an early age, then it'll be amazing. I'm just being a dick. But play games with the kids. You're right though. Then it's not about you. Even when I got married, I have a responsibility to take care of my wife, especially Islamically. People, it's your responsibility. You have to provide now. You have to do it. And that instantly, the mindset changed. I'm like, I don't care about myself as much anymore. I have a duty now to really go out and be different. So that changed, but the kids will take that to another level, I'm sure, because I know.
Oh yeah, it will.
Yeah, I'm that kind of person. When my kids, when my friends bring their kids around, I can't relax. The corners of tables and the sockets, and also the kids, because I have just 3 siblings, me and 2 brothers, and we got into so many accidents. So I've been like, fuck, I'm so scared. So I'm going to be one of those that's just going to be constantly worried. But, could be worse. I could become a PlayStation fanboy, and I don't want that. Thank you, Daddy Passion Official. Now I have you going to be a better man. Oh, shit. Maybe. Let's not go too far. I'm still a dick. But, yeah, I've already matured a little bit. So thank you, chat. I don't want to make a big song and dance about it until it was all done. The Islamic nikah is done. I'm going to have a ceremony soon, and then, it'll be done. Parris, Lilly, I will get to see you in... Oh, another announcement, just very quickly. Yeah, in 2 weeks, I'll be joining... I have joined, thanks to Tom Henderson, being very nice. I'm part of Insider Gaming now. They let my crazy ass join the team. And I'm flying out with Insider Gaming to GDC. To interview Phil Spencer and give you the real freaking interview. Phil Spencer, you piece of how dare you do this, you fucking betrayed me, This is a message from Tim Dog. No, I'm not gonna do that. I am a bit mindful of the fact that I have been such a weird character, and then they come see me and they're like, fucking fuck that guy. I'm not interviewing. No chance that guy gets an interview. There's no way. Get that piece of shit out of it. But Jason Ronald and I have chat some time ago in DMs until the last message, which was a video of me going, fucking Jason Ronald, what happened with the hardware, man? He never replied. I'm such a dick. If you guys could see the video, you guys would laugh your ass off. They're so fucking unhinged to send it to a man who has been so nice to you. But I just couldn't help it for the memes. But yeah, I get to see him. So I'll get to see you. I get to see Jason Ronald, hopefully. Get to see the Xbox team. And go out with Tom Henderson and others. It'll be an interesting phase of content creation where I try to be serious and not get ostracized by the industry that
I look forward to it. And that's the whole thing. It's in person. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, you are probably gonna be surprised at who actually pays attention to the stuff that you post online.
Oh god!
You'll get a comment from someone. You're like, wait, you saw this?
God, please
you're
don't.
Gonna be surprised.
Oh shit! I'm gonna find out the hard way. I mean, I'm living under like the safety scoop. Like, they don't know who I am. It's fine. But now it's gonna be like, are you the guy who sang a song about me? Oh fucking Phil, don't mention it.
That's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you now.
Man. Oh shit! Oh, Lutron, thank you so much, man. Great show, bro. Gaz. People, Luminous, she's been begging me to play Luminous, and it sounds like my jam. Parris, you're a G, says Lutrons. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Mad love, man. Thank you, everyone in chat. Smash the like button on the way out. And I will definitely be back on the content train. I'm back. The reason now you know is because I've been worried trying to get this wedding done. marriage done. That's why it's been crazy. And Parris was supposed to be on that Saturday, but I couldn't do it because I was getting married. So thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the show, and I'll put the timestamps up. And Parris, thank you so much for coming. What's next? We know. GDC? Anything else for the people that you'll be making more content now? What's the source?
Yeah, GDC. I'll just say GDC. I don't know what I can and can't say. But I got some other stuff coming up. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun year, man.
No, that's wicked.
It's gonna be a fun year.
Wicked, man. Wicked. Check it out. Parris Lilly stuff. You know Parris is, but I linked it in the chat in the description below. And we'll see you next week. Safe. Peace.